SNLF Show. The Sussex Non-League Newsroom. SNLF Show. The Sussex Non-League Newsroom. Lights on, mics live, county talking, midweek vibe, results in, tables move, every club's got something to prove. From the final whistle to the first headline, touchline whispers on the live timeline, scores drop, rumours flow, one place they all go. SNLF Show. The Sussex Non-League Newsroom. SNLF Show. Where the county tunes in. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, X and YouTube, Insta-locked, step by step, round by ground, Sussex football, that's the sound, wins, draws, big defeats, derby nights and changing seats, clubs on form, managers speak, who went top, who moved this week? SNLF Show. The Sussex Non-League Newsroom. SNLF Show. Say the name. SNLF Show.
Welcome to the SNLF Show, Wednesday evening. How is everybody today? We are back once again, and today's show is sponsored by our own tool, dugoutdatahub.com. It's our free tool where you can manage the club stats, forms, with all the graphs, download your own PDFs. It is live now. Go on that website, dugoutdatahub.com, download your free stat pack. Every game is autonomously updated after every single match. Gentlemen, we seem to be a man down.
We are a coffee-related emergency. They are real. They can happen, everyone, as it turns out.
It is. Gaz has had to leave us for the day. He's had a work emergency. He's deep in the coffee game. But we will get through. We might have a couple of guests on later as well. So, yeah. Grant, how are you, pal?
Oh, yeah, all good, mate, all good. What a week. Great to have football back. All that pre-season done, dusted. The real football started with a bang on Saturday. Full fixtures midweek. Great start to the season. Some shots, some goals, some funny results, mate. We saw an 8-0, didn't we? Bit of a shock for some, but some people had them as a dark horse. But yeah, it's just great to have football back. Great to be out on a Saturday. Great to be out on a midweek, mingling, meeting people. Yeah, football, can't beat it.
Well, there's one game going on at the moment. That is Wick FC versus Midhurst. Matt, is there any update on the score yet? Because
Let's have a look. It was 0-0 when we last looked.
I know Midhurst are down to 10 men now.
They are. So Midhurst are 1-0 up and down to 10. So we'll see. There's a big chance for Wick to maybe cause an upset here. So we'll keep you updated if anything changes there.
We'll see if we can catch up with someone at the ground during that game as well to keep you updated on where it is. So, lads, I think we'll start with a bit of breaking news, won't we? A bit of breaking news from the National League South winners, Worthing FC. Starboy Brad Donohan has left the building. Matt, what do you know?
Yes, this is pretty breaking. It's only come out in the last 3-4 hours that Brad has transferred to Harrogate Town for an undisclosed fee. You have to imagine it's going to be a pretty hefty fee to prime away just a few days before the season starts. Obviously, he was the top scorer in the NLS last season, you know, a real key part of their winning run. Bit surprising, maybe, that it's so close to the start of the season, and it's to I think he could have maybe gone to a League Two club, you know, like a Crawley or something, maybe. So to see him move to another team in the National League is maybe a little bit surprising, given just how good he's been. You'd have thought maybe he would do a season with Worthing, see how they go. But, I mean, you know, Harrogate, obviously a big club, just got relegated last season. You know, I imagine they can offer him quite a lot with the resources that they have available. But yeah, surprising, I would say. Surprising, not that he's gone full stop, right? Because obviously other clubs are going to eye him up. But the fact that he's gone to Harrogate, I think, wouldn't have necessarily been where I'd have placed him.
Well, let's see if we can get some news from him a bit later on the show, because what I do know is Brad is loved by the fans at Worthing. He's an absolute talent, one of the most exciting players to come and play for the club. Great supporter of the show, been on a couple of times. Really, really nice lad. It come out of the blue, absolutely out of the blue.
Yeah, and I think when you look on X and you see all the comments, it's everybody wishing him well, which just goes to show how well liked he was at the club. There's no bad blood from the fans. They're heartbroken, but I think they're all understanding. They're all wishing him well. So, absolutely fair play to all the Worthing fans as well that have taken it so well and, wished him well.
Good. And so where have you guys been this week? Grant?
So I think I said Saturday I was working, so I couldn't go to a game. But last night I went to East Grinstead Town versus Guernsey.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously Guernsey ran out 1-0 winners. Very close game. Guernsey went 1-0 up with a penalty. I can't remember, back 15 minutes in. It was a stonewall penalty for me. Ball over the top. Winger come inside. Goes around the goalkeeper, Harry Howes, young lad, maybe a little bit of inexperience, comes out, just completely takes him out. I think if there wasn't the double jeopardy rule, I probably think it would have been a red card as well. So I think, they did well to keep him on the pitch. Penalty, just coolly slotted home straight away, 1-0. And it was all Guernsey first half. From my point of view, East Grinstead had a lot of the ball in their own half, knocking it about, but they didn't really penetrate. Everything was a little bit safe, a little bit sort of pre-season-y, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
And, went in 1-0 down at half time. Obviously, words were said because they came out a lot better the second half, Grinstead, and really went for it. And it really was back to the walls for Guernsey most of the second half, really. Grinstead chucked the kitchen sink at them, put a lot of forwards on, made some decent substitutions, but they also had a penalty in the first half themselves, Grinstead. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Again, it was a penalty. No need for it. The geezer's going away from goal. I think it was Ollie Starkey. I think it was. Someone correct me because it was down the other end of the pitch. He was going away from goal and just taken out, so no need to do it. It was a penalty. Dan Perry took the penalty and it was put to the goalkeeper's right at a very good height for the goalkeeper, who's just saved it. And so that's really, I think, a little bit how Dan Perry's sort of been playing at the moment, and sort of can't buy.
I really like Dan. He's a really nice
mate, he's a top bloke, top player. I just think he needs a goal to come off his backside or hit him and go in. Do you know what I mean? And so, it didn't go in, so they went in near half time. But then, second half, they chucked everything at it. Headers cleared off the line, etc. And Guernsey, mate, defended brilliantly. Considering as well they had 10 players unavailable last night. 10 players unavailable. So if that's their reserve team, mate, they've got one hell of a team if that's their reserves. But they sort of held fire. Even though Grinstead did chuck a lot of balls in the box, I didn't really have too many clear-cut opportunities, really. A few scrappy, half chances. And they brought a young lad on, actually used to play for me in the under-23s, a guy called Shay Casco Rogers, who they signed from Corinthian Casuals.
He's a player.
And mate, he was electric. He really changed the game when he come on. Pace, went past people, was putting crosses in, got into the byline, cutting them back. I thought he really changed things up when he came on. But huffed and puffed as they did, they just didn't have that sort of cutting edge really in front of goal. And I probably think on reflection, probably a fair result. I think Guernsey nicking it. I know Grinstead did batter them really second half possession wise, but clear cut chances they didn't have too many really. So I think we said it in our predictions pod. They got a hell of a lot of new players, and it sort of looked like that, if you know what I mean. There were certain bits where they weren't quite linking up well, but they've all got good players. They all communicate well. It will come with anyone. We've said it before with a couple of the other teams. Chucking 8-10 new players into a squad does take time to gel. You can't just chuck them in and expect chemistry and fireworks within the first game. But there's signs of it will come. I've still got every hope that my predictions will be right and Matt's will be wrong. But all I'm saying is now that Forest Row are 15th at the moment, Matt. So 2 games in, but yeah.
It's early.
Well, just to let everyone know that Andy Willis and Dan Perry were going to be on the show tonight.
Yeah.
But Andy had to take a last-minute trip to Norway there, so they'll be coming on in the next couple of weeks. We look forward to getting them on.
Yeah.
There. So, Matt, where are we starting today, mate?
Yeah, well, obviously we want to talk a little bit more about Worthing starting their season this weekend.
What are you hearing?
Well, obviously, losing Brad's a big miss, right? And I think the step up to the National League was always going to be difficult anyway, right? So I wouldn't say I'm worried about them, right? Because when you look at some of the other teams, there are teams I think that are going to struggle a lot more than them, like Eastleigh, for example, Aldershot maybe, Sutton maybe. I think they're going to be safe this season. I think that's fair to say. But I don't think it's going to be easy, right? I mean, it's not an easy league, right? But I think they've kept enough, just about. Although obviously this is, to lose your top scorer, a player that could just in a moment turn things around in a game, right? Because Worthing had games last season where they were off the pace and they didn't look like they could buy a goal, and then all of a sudden he's pulled something out of nowhere, a bit of magic and got them something. So I think it's a massive miss, right? A massive loss for them. But I think they'll be safe. I think it will be not pretty at times, shall we say, right? And I think sometimes in that league, it can be quite a physical league. It can be quite about grinding out results. You're not there to, 1-0.
1-0.
1-0, Wick, Millers, cheers, non-league, Sussex for that.
They are making the man advantage count.
Just on the sale though, Matt, I'm as an ex-manager with an ex-manager's hat on, I'm telling you now, you would not let your star player go without having a backup. They will have someone. They would not have agreed to this. Obviously, it's an undisclosed fee. They've obviously received money for him. How much, we do not know. But there's no way that Hinch has let him go without having someone lined up. I'll be surprised if in the next few days there's not a signing announced. I'm not saying it's going to be as good or as big or whatever, but
he's a big lad to replace, though.
He's exceptional.
That Brad is exceptional.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying he's not. All I'm saying is they will have something lined up. But yeah, to replace him like that, it will be a big, big loss.
No,
I am surprised though, Matt, and I think you've said it, that he sort of moved sideways when he would have had League Two, maybe even some League One clubs sniffing around him. So that for me has been a bit of a surprise, I'll be honest. But if they've sold him an ambition, a plan, a future of where they want to go, like I said, where they got relegated last year, that's what he might have brought into their gaffer might have sold him their vision and their plan and might have made him central to it. They've obviously offered him a load more money. I'd imagine he wouldn't have gone without it. Harrogate's not round the corner. It's the other arse end of the country. So
how far away is that?
Harrogate's to north of Leeds. My uncle lives in Knaresborough, which is next to Harrogate. It's a lovely part of the country.
5.5 hours away, maybe 6 hours.
It's just north of Leeds. 3.5, 4 hours probably, I reckon. But like I said, it's not round the corner, so he would have had to move house. He's going to have to move. Yeah, it ain't commuting. I'm telling you that for nothing. So it's a big gamble to take a sideways move in that league going forward. But obviously he's made that decision and he's been spoken to by their hierarchy at Harrogate, the gaffer, the chairman probably have all been involved in getting him over the line. And, I'm sure we can find that out.
Well, I'm sure we're going to put a message into him, see what's occurring, see if we can get a few words from the star boy himself.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, you imagine they must have a plan in place, but they've got to act quick, right? Because the season's just around the corner.
When's it start? Is it 2 weeks?
Is it 2 weeks or is it? Yeah. So they've got time, right? Yeah. But again, it needs to be the right player. There must be some funds to spend now, maybe.
Well, look, Hinch ain't got things wrong anyway. Do you know what I mean? He'll know. Him and Meany will have a plan, I'm sure. As Grant said, you can't let a player that good go in your first season up in the National League up there. without literally having a backup. So look, we wish Brad every success. We really do. See if we can get a couple of words from him later if he's about. We'll
I think it's actually this Saturday that the league kicks off.
This Saturday.
Yeah, with
it's Carlisle they got.
Worthing, yeah, making the long old trip to Carlisle. Maybe they can take Brad with them on the minibus up there.
Give him a lift.
Yeah, going that sort of way. So they really don't have much
that way. Carlisle was that way, but yeah, I know what you mean, mate. But
yeah,
it's a tough one. But I wouldn't be surprised if as they rate him so highly that there will be a sell-on clause for his next move. I'm sure of it. In the background on that deal, there'll be a 5% sell-on clause. I'm sure of it. Clearly, as you said, Mike, he's destined for league football without a doubt.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. The boy literally lit up Woodside Road when he got the ball. You know, did he finish top goal scorer as well? Didn't he?
He was. Yeah, no, he got the golden boot. Yeah. I think it was 21 goals, maybe.
Yeah, the boy's a fantastic talent. Let's see if we can get a bit more news out there. Let's see if he's about. But bar that, we're going to get a little update in a minute from the game down at Nye Timber, or the Nye Camp as they call it, where Wick are currently playing Midhurst. It's still 1-1. I believe they're into added time at the moment. Midhurst down to 10 men. Early doors, wasn't it, as well, in that thing. So, yeah, apparently Connor, the gaffer, is not happy. So we'll find out what's going on. We'll get a little update from one of our guys at the ground as soon as we can in the next few minutes. But yeah, we've got an action-packed show. We're going to go through what's happened on match day 1 and match day 2 in the Prem, because some of the big teams drop points. Some of the more unfancy teams are coming through. You know, we had a crazy 8-0 Roffey result for the team that everyone was looking at thinking, Naeem's back over there. You know, he's obviously been backed. He's brought in these players that you guys both know, quality players. I think we'll start there, lads, shall we? We'll start at Roffey.
Absolutely, we can.
Let's have a look at some of the results that have come in. Oh, that was from last week, sorry. Match day 1, that was match day 1. So let's have a quickly look at where we are in the tables after 2 games. Matt, what are you looking at? What are you seeing?
Well, I think there's a couple of teams that are going to stand out for a few people. East Grinstead being one. For me, Horsham YM, another one who have had a surprising start to the season. Not to, downplay Vardinians, but for them to have won against YM was maybe the shock result of the opening day. I think Little Commoner, minus 11 goal difference after 2 games, you're in trouble, right? And again, it's only 2 games in; it can all change, but it's hard to imagine a much worse start to the season. There are teams up there which aren't too surprising. Eastbourne, Guernsey. Well, I think in most people's, not Grant's, I don't think with Guernsey, but most people's, top 5s. Bexhill up there again. They were one of those sort of dark horse teams in and around the conversation. A massive effort from them last night. We'll come on to that with 10 men to come away with a 2-0 win. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to look past Roffey at the top of the table. And I think the 8-0 is obviously massively impressive, but what they managed last night to get it over the line against Crawley Down, right, when, Crawley Down had pegged them back to 2-2 to then win it late on, shows that, I mean, that's the real quality, right? In those games where you have to find that extra something to get all 3 points.
Is this Naz Naeem? Is this his way now? He's come in. It's his side. He's had a big pre-season. Has he installed a mentality into those players?
I think that's what last night's or night before's game shows. I think that mentality to come back from, when you're 2-0 up, you cruise. You've just won 8-0. You go 2-0 up in the next game. You feel like you're cruising. The world's at your feet, and then all of a sudden, it's 2-2. You've got 10 minutes to go, less than 10 minutes to go, I think, actually. And then they've pulled it back and they're ahead again, right? I think that shows the mentality more than an 8-0 win, right? Of what they're about and what they're capable of. there's going to be a lot of games like that in this league that aren't easy, where you have to, find that extra something. Not every game is going to be an 8-0 win, and I think that 3-2 win yesterday shows more of what they're about than the 8-0, which might sound crazy, but I think that's my take on it. But I think they're a team, as you say, that people were talking about as a dark horse. I don't think they're a dark horse anymore.
Well, let's just quickly get an update from Nigel Lane. We've got Tom Merritt-Smith, chairman of Midhurst, with us. Tom, you are live, my friend. How are you? What's going on? What's the score?
Oh, it's a game of certainly an entertaining first half, mate. So yeah, 1-1 here at the moment.
Tell us about the red. What's happened?
I think Wasmer's lost his head, mate. He's on a booking, to be honest, and there's been an altercation. I haven't seen it, to be fair, Mike, but it's put us on the back foot, definitely, mate. Started well, started really bright, but credit to Wick, mate. They've grown into the game, so yeah, fair play.
Yeah, I mean, look, you had a great result last week. A lot of people, that's going to make it tough now with 10 players. Wick will battle through, that's what they do in there. Anyone standing out from their side?
I've got. To be honest, mate, they've got some good players. I think they've recruited really well over the summer, to be honest. They're a completely different Wick side that we played last season. And, credit to Borders and his team, mate. He's got a good side there. And, I think they will cause a few upsets, to be honest with you, mate.
And just quickly, we caught up Saturday, had a great chat. You're a chairman that wants to do things the right way. You've took some slack as well. People are saying you're bringing all these players in, but you're not doing it sustainably, building not just a team, but a club.
Yeah, definitely, mate. We've got, for anyone that knows Royalfield, we're obviously in a large open spaced area, and it's everyone's pet hate walking 100 yards to play a game of football at the clubhouse. And there's going to be developments. We've got things going on. I can't say too much, mate, obviously, because a lot of it isn't out to local residents or anything yet. So, we've got things happening, mate. We're trying to be as sustainable as we can, and we keep pushing on. I have got Craig here, mate, from Wick, who's probably going to want to get back in the change room. So if I pass you over quickly, all right?
Craig,
hello, mate.
Yeah,
all right, how you doing?
Mother, how are you, mate?
Yeah, all right, thank you. You all right?
How's the game going?
Well, to be fair, I mean, first 20, 22, Midhurst absolutely dominated. We conceded a poor goal. It was a great finish from them, but we give the ball away on the halfway line and just didn't recover. And then head loss from their centre half. He was already on a yellow anyway, and it's changed the whole game. And to be fair, I think, seen us grow into it. I think we played some really good football, and deservedly so. We got the equaliser, but up until that sending off, it was definitely all Midhurst, and they're a great side. There's no doubt about it. And it's going to be a tough second half, but we've certainly grown in confidence and just got to keep doing what we're doing and hopefully see what happens.
And how's your pre-season gone?
Not great, to be honest. Results wise, and I think we've got a much different side from last year, and it takes time to bond. Brought a couple of new signings in this week as well, Joe Bennett and Preston Waterstone, but he's certainly got massive potential, and we certainly are a better side than last year. Rather, it was just now about bonding and making sure that we obviously put into practice what we've been training on. So
okay,
I'm going to have to go, guys, quickly. Is that right? Yeah.
You go, and we'll catch up with you after the game, mate.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, we'll catch up after. Hand you back to Tom. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Mike.
Cheers, mate. Tom, I'll let you get back. We'll catch up with you after the game. Good luck to both of you.
Brilliant. Thanks, mate.
And we'll speak, because I'll be coming down to see you, FA Cup, Midhurst, Saturday.
Looking forward to it, mate. Thank you very much.
See you in a bit.
Cheers, pal.
Wow.
Look at that. First live reporting from a ground. We've heard it here.
We're going to do a lot more of that as well.
Yeah, it's great. Hearing it from the horse's mouth, brilliant.
But just quickly, I just need a drink, lads.
Dugout 90. Buy a can. Support your club. Dugout 90. Get with the initiative. Here's what we do.
you have, we will buy the Dugout 90 cans in at cost, and we will give them to you at cost. You can make all the profit on there. For us, it's a marketing tool. We've got everything regarding our apps, our podcasts, and our websites on there, and it's all free for you guys. Whew. Right, let's get back into it.
Let's do it.
Where's next, Matt?
Well, let's have a look at the table again, if you've got it there.
Let's have a little look.
We'll pick a team to talk about. So, Sussex last night.
Okay, talk to me about Sussex.
Well, obviously, they were a team that I had at the very top of my predictions. I think a lot of people had them in and around the top. But last night, against a young, but not as young as last season, New Haven side, they've lost at home. 2-1 to New Haven, it was.
And do you know what? I didn't think New Haven would do as much this year. I'm getting completely wrong on everything at the moment.
No, it's just funny that already we're starting to see these upsets, and it really makes you think, this really is going to be so tight this season, which we thought anyway, right? But seeing these results come through already, Hayward Heath drawing with East Grinstead on the first day, East Grinstead going on to lose last night, Sussex losing last night. There are teams dropping points all over the place, and we're only 2 game weeks in, right? Midhurst, as it stands, dropping points right now. They could go on to lose even down to 10 men. So, I think it's tighter than we thought it was going to be. And we thought it was going to be pretty
I
close.
agree, Matt. And I think now, really, if you offer Midhurst a point now, 10 men, I think he'll take that. He's probably snap your hand off to walk out of there with a point. But I think we said it on the prediction show. This ain't going to be a season where someone gets 90 points. I'm telling you now. This is going to be 75, maybe an 80-point season for someone to win it. And there are going to be, because it's so competitive, there are going to be results like what we saw on Saturday and midweek, where Roffey have lost and East Grinstead have lost and other teams are draw in, etc. There ain't going to be a team, bit like Haywards Heath last year, where they went 18 games at the start of the season unbeaten and were 8, 9, 10 points clear at one stage. I'll be amazed if that happens this year. I really don't think it will. As we said before, I think it's so competitive, this league. And at the start of the season as well, guys, I said it about Grinstead. He just said it there. Craig just said it there. Getting new players in, and a lot of new players, it takes time to gel. It really does. And as much as you can go, it's game Saturday. No one's trained midweek. They've gone straight from Saturday, done no training, straight into Tuesday. You know what I mean? They've not worked on anything. They've just chucked players in and off you go. So they've not had any time to work on patterns of play, of shape, of systems, of progressing through the lines on the pitch, etc. So until teams are, and at the start of the season, it is Saturday, Tuesday. So teams are only going to have one training session on a Thursday, and they're lucky if they get an hour. So, an hour and a half training, warm up, cool down. You're probably only going to have half hour, 45 minutes to properly work on shape and how you want to set up as a team tactically. So that's why these sort of things take time. They're not pro clubs. They're not training every single day. So it believe you me, from experience, it takes time to gel players, to work on patterns, and even for new players to build up relationship, like the right back. He's got to link up with a right side centre half. He's then got to link with a right sided forward. All those little combinations on sides in the pitches, they've got to learn to play with each other, understand what runs they make, where they're going to go.
Isn't that what pre-season's for?
It is, but when you sign, it is. But like Craig just said, we've got 2 new players in this week.
But don't I suppose the counter argument to that is, why wasn't the business done a bit quicker?
Yeah. You never know whether they're available or not, though. That's the problem. Well, look, Worthing are the same. They just let their star man go today. They got 3 days before the start of the season. That would not have been part of their plan, and it won't be part of Harrogate's plan to get a new geezer in. By the time he travels up there, etc., he'll be there probably tomorrow. He's only going to train Thursday. Whether they have a light training session on the Friday, he'll only train with them twice for Saturday. Sometimes it's not a plan. You have these plans in place and players that you're targeting, etc., don't come off. You go for plan B. You have your second best signing and all this, that, and the other. And that's what it might well be. You know, that happens in the Premier League, doesn't it? If you target signing that you want, he ain't available, you then go to number 2. So, yeah, but pre-season is about that, Mike, absolutely. But even then, you're working on it in pre-season for 4 or 5 weeks that you're doing pre-season. Again, during pre-season, you have a game Saturday, you have a game Tuesday, you have one training session.
But at what point, Grant, and you've managed and you've won, at what point do you cut off and say, right, it's gone too far now, okay, we need to really solidify this and go from pre-season?
A lot of them will be at that stage now, I'll be honest.
Okay.
There might be the odd 1 or 2 players that they might, like now, like for example, I was just saying Grinstead because I went there last night. They haven't scored in their first 2 games. They might now be thinking, we might need another forward. So they might now start thinking, right, who's available, who's at a higher level, who's on the bench, who's not playing. They might have to wait a month to wait to see in the Isthmian League who's not been playing and who's on the bench and who they can approach. So that happens, but 95, 99% of the squads now will probably be locked down, and there'll just be a few players, likewise, that they think they've bought in that might not be good enough that they let go. And otherwise, they might have a few gaps where they think, oh, we're a bit light centre half. Someone gets suspended or someone gets injured. Now, some of the first game of the season might do his ACL as a centre midfielder. Shit, we need a centre forward. Centre midfielder. Who can we go and get? So there'll be a little bit of that going on. But I reckon over 90% of the squads will have 90% of their players done by now. And it will just be the odd few moving around, trying to get players, trying to sign. So, but like I said, it's working on those tactical bits, Mike. Like I said, pre-season, you've got a game Saturday, Tuesday, because pre-season really is about getting minutes in your legs. There's a stat. I think it's something like you need 700 minutes of football to be match fit.
700 minutes. So what does that work out? That works out about 8 games, yeah?
8 games, exactly. You need, and it's an absolute stat, you need like that amount of minutes. You can do all the pre-season you want, all the 1Ks, 5Ks, all the, figure of 8s around the pitch, the doggies, all that. You can do loads of that, great, fine. But the actual minutes, you need around about 800 minutes to be fully match fit. And a lot of these teams play 45 minutes first off, change the whole squad, another team going to another 45 minutes. So realistically, I've always tracked the players' minutes, what they've played. If they've played 45 minutes, goes on a spreadsheet, 45 minutes. So I've got to get them up to 800 minutes, round about that figure, before I know they're fully match fit. Then you've got players that are coming back from injury that haven't played for 6 months, 7 months, even longer than that. Some have missed the whole season. I'm telling you now, I had a season out when I was a kid. I was 19, I had a back operation. I had discs removed and my vertebrae fused together in the bottom of my back when I was 19. So I missed a whole season. And I did all the pre-season. I played every single game. And it took me till Christmas till I felt, right, I'm fully back to actual match sharpness. It takes that amount of time, even with every training session, every game, every pre-season game, all that lot. So honestly, it takes a lot longer than people just think, oh, you turn up, you have a couple of pre-season training sessions, bang, off you go, you're ready to play football. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. And I'm talking that 800 minutes, that's like even a pro level. Non-league football, these guys are working 40, 50 hours, doing a day job as well as trying to do this and get fit. Could be committed to their gym work. Because, you've got to do stuff outside of football if you really want to get fully match fit. You can't rely on 90 minutes on a Saturday, 90 minutes on a Tuesday, and an hour on a Thursday to be at your peak performance. You've got to be doing a little bit every day.
I totally get that. From match day 1 in the SCFL Prem, where were the shocks? I can tell you one shock for me, and that was Vardinians.
Yeah.
Going to Goring Mead and beating Horsham Wire. It wasn't on my bingo card.
Well, look, Vardinians last year come 18th. Last year. Do you know what I mean? You're thinking, Horsham end up getting in the playoffs. No one had that on their card. But again, Horsham YM signed a lot of players, lost the star man, etc., etc. Trying to gel a little bit. There'll be a little bit of that. And I think I said it on last week's show, and I did put a tweet out in the week. I'm telling you now, the pitch conditions have a lot to do. When you've got a footballing team that plays football, that passes the ball around, that pops it around nice on grass pitches, playing on pitches that are like concrete, rock hard and like dust bowls, you've almost got results to going long ball as much as you don't want to, because you can't, it's so bobbly, you can't rely on your centre half, getting a ball pinged at him to get it under control. That's what I'm saying. The conditions, the fitness, the pre-season, the new signings, the bobbly, horrible, rock-hard pitches, there will be some upsets, I'm telling you now, in this first month of the season. Until it starts raining again, there will be some upsets.
Well, I'd say they had another upset.
Sorry,
I'd say they had another upset against Billingshurst, where they've drawn 1-1 as well, Horsham YM. I mean, they've played two teams which, no disrespect, I think most people would have had in the sort of bottom half of the table, and they've got 1 point to show for it. So that's a pretty poor return, right? For a team that I don't know if internally they would have been thinking the same, but a lot of people had them, in that top 5-6 sort of area. We're 2 games in, so you're not panicking yet, but it's not great.
No, and going back to the Varnes result, on the other show I'd mention it, and Haig messaged me. Haig Kingston is one of the coaches there, and tongue in cheek, he said, didn't give us enough credit, and I'm right, and I'm sorry, he's right. We didn't give him enough credit, for the fact that everyone had writ off Vardinians this year. Everyone. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
no.
That's historical though, Mike, isn't it? Like I say, last year they come 18th. I've personally not seen enough of their signings to suddenly go, mate, they're going for it this year. Unless they've not announced it and kept it quiet. So none of us can really be going, yeah, we've really got that wrong. We are now. You can sort of see it now. But yeah, credit where it's due, isn't it? That they've gone out there, they beat one of the playoff contenders last year. The good thing I think, like I think you said about character, Matt, on the last bit, they've gone 2-0 up, Vardinians, brought it back to 2-2. They could have had a bit of a panic time. When you've come 18th the previous year, you think, oh, here we go again. We're going to lose this. But they didn't. They rolled their sleeves up. They fought. And they went up and got the winner.
I feel it. I was down at Culver Road, and we're talking about it in a minute with the Lance and Seaford game. And as soon as it come back to 2-2, I said to everyone, I think, why am I going and win this now? But let's quickly address this. What's your thoughts on Warren's?
Yeah, well, I see that. I think if you're a team that wants to win the league or get promotion, you can't let the conditions upset you, right? I mean, if it did, it shouldn't have done, right? You just... This is a team of good players, experienced players at this level that have ambitions of finishing very high, if not bouncing straight back up again. So I don't think, and I'm sure they're not, but I don't think they can use the conditions as an excuse, right? Both teams are playing on that pitch.
I think we have to give credit to New Haven. We really do.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because at this level, at Step 5 level, you don't normally go to the Beacon over at Hassocks, and come away with much. You really don't. They're really strong at home. Hang on a minute. I've got something for you boys here. Right. We talked about Brad earlier. Yeah?
Oh, yes.
The star boy himself. Right? We sent the news lads out, and guess what? Brad.
Hello. How are you guys, right?
How are you, brother?
I'm all good, thank you. How are you?
Firstly, congratulations for your move.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely gutted. I've got a lot of bones to pick with you for that. But it's come as a shock to everyone. You are adored at Worthing, not just by the fans, by my son. As I said, you're his favourite player. He's up there crying now, mate, so I hope you feel better.
Don't say that.
Lay that guilt trip on him, Mike. Lay that guilt trip, mate.
I'm only joking, but congratulations. How the hell did this happen and not get out?
I don't know, really. It all happened really quick. Back end of last week.
Was it your choice, Brad? Was it your choice?
Wasn't something that I was actively looking for, no.
Okay.
But it came about, and without obviously talking too much about it.
No, I know.
It came about, and I felt it was the right time for me to take on the opportunity with how things were at Worthing at the time, and how I felt, etc. So yeah, without
Because it's not
getting
just
too deep into it.
moving up the road, are you? You're not moving to
No.
a or something like that. You're moving a long way from your family and everything like that. I know you've done like this before, but how
Yeah.
are you going to adapt to it?
I think I've got amazing people around me who can help me all the time, and I think I'm a little bit older now, so it'll be a lot easier for me to deal with things, as I've had to deal with a lot of setbacks before. So coming into this one, I sort of have a bit of experience moving away, and yeah, I'm not staying in digs. I've got an apartment with one of the boys, so that's a little bit different. But I feel a little bit more independent now, a little bit older.
Okay. How's your family reacting? 'Cause I know you've got a good unit around you and that.
Yeah, yeah,
How they
I
seeing you?
think, yeah, I think they're just buzzing for me, really. It's something that, when it happened, I was quite excited for, and the opportunity was a really good one. So they just want what's best for me, and they'll be happy with whatever my choice is, but they'll do their best to support me, no matter where I am.
I mean, it's an absolutely huge loss to Worthing. It really is. We all know, all us lads here, all the lads that work with us know that you are a league footballer in waiting. You really are. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. We know that. It's just whether it's the end of this year or whatever, or halfway through this year. You never know what could happen. You don't go from being the National League South star boy at such a young age, top goal scorer, doing bits left, right, and centre, to then moving 4 or 5 hours away, taking this big step in your career. We want to know. We want to know. Like I said, when the news come out today, I had to ask Gareth. I said, "No, what are Worthing doing? Get Meany on the phone." I said, "Get him on the phone. What's going on down there?" He's furious. But lads, go on, fire away to Brad, because
Brad, hi mate. I just want to ask Brad, as much as you can, Brad, could you talk us through a little bit of the timeline of when you first found out how quick it's happened, what the time, what first contact going through to today?
Yeah, I think as happens usually, the club Harrogate got in contact with Worthing, I think, before I knew anything. I think everything was sort of agreed by the time I found out, which I think is how it usually works. But yeah, so that all happened.
So
I
did
think
you get a phone call, Brad, saying, "Hello, mate, we've accepted a bid from you. You're off"?
No, it wasn't quite like that. It
Right.
was we've accepted a bid. We want to obviously give you the best opportunity, and want to give you the opportunity to sort of explore the option, which is how good Worthing are with me in terms of that. And they let me explore the option and said, "Look, if it's an opportunity you want to take, we're not going to stand in your way." And then over the weekend,
you got to respect that, Brad, haven't you? You got to respect the
100%, yeah,
giving you that.
yeah. Everyone at the club's been really supportive and has really helped me. So got nothing bad to say about them on that front.
So do you know what day first contact was made at all?
To be honest, I don't really have a clue in terms of. All I know is that I got told back in the last week.
Right.
I don't know when the
You're
club's
just saying because
negotiating.
obviously the league kicks off on Saturday, so it's obviously
Yeah.
not ideal preparation for Worthing to let their golden boot star man leave 3 days before the start of the season. And you probably don't, but is there a backup plan for Worthing? Have they got someone else? Do you know that? Can you drop us a little?
I can't tell you if they've got.
I don't think Hinch would have shot himself in the foot. To be fair,
No, we discussed that.
You can't lose Brad and then just think, "Oh fuck it, we're not going to get no one else in." That ain't how he does business. No way.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say whether there's a replacement or anything, but I'd be surprised if they didn't bring someone in.
Brad, have you got any mates up there?
I have a couple friends through football and just in life general who have moved up to uni up here and live up here, so I'm not going to be on my own. There's people around me, so yeah.
I tell you, Brad, my uncle lives in Knaresborough, which is next to Harrogate. It is a beautiful part of the world, Harrogate and Knaresborough. Yeah. You're not going to a shithole like. I hope I'm not offending anyone like Middlesbrough or Sunderland. It's a lovely part of the world, and I'm sure you're going to thrive up there, mate. I wish you the best. I think it's a good move. My only question I've got is, I personally think, and I'm sure they had interest from you from League Two clubs, League One clubs. Why have you gone to a club in the same league? When Worthing fans I've seen on Twitter said, why has he gone on a sideways move? He could have gone a lot higher than that. So that's a question.
Brad, do you have an agent?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why ain't he talking to Crawley or someone like that then? You know what I mean? Better than Cashman.
It's all about, for me, where I'm going to go in and fit the mould and go in and make an impact. And I think a lot of league clubs would have probably taken me in and shipped me out on loan, and I would have sort of just been a side piece, really. I feel like I've come in here and hopefully I can come in and challenge for a main role in the team, instead of being shipped out on loan, and come in and sort of can try and start and just try and put myself about, really. Because I think there were options to go a bit higher.
So I do get that, Brad. You're better off. I've always said, I've managed obviously a lot lower than you, but I've always said to younger players coming in, you're better off even dropping down a level and playing 40 games a season than being on the bench and playing 10. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
I know you're not at that stage, but at your age, your experience, you need to be playing football regularly, playing 38 league games, 44 league games, banging in 20-odd goals. And I'm sure you'll get that next move up into league football. I'm sure you will. So, look, I wish you all the best. I think it's a good move, not for Worthing and not for Worthing fans. But you've got to understand that I'm sure that personally they will want the best for you, mate. They'll always have a place for you in their heart. I know that, mate.
There's been nothing but love for him online.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm done.
What's
Matt,
your target for this season, mate? It's a big step up from the NLS and the National League, but have you set yourself a personal target for goals, etc.? What are you hoping for?
To be honest, I've only just been able to just sit down for 2 minutes, to be fair. There's been so rushed to everything. So, just sort of just trying to knuckle down and just try and, gel in with my new teammates and everything. I haven't really thought too much about the season, considering I only start Saturday. It's pretty mental. It's all flown by, so
will you go into the squad immediately, Brad? As in the squad, not the starting, the squad?
I'd hope so, yeah. Well, we'll see. Obviously, I don't make that decision, but I'd like to think.
Have you spoke to the gaffer, though?
Yeah, of course I spoke to the gaffer, yeah.
Yeah, and he's obviously like that, and he's like the Cheshire Cat, and he's like, yeah, I got him. He's pulled that off.
But you're up there now, Brad. You're in Harrogate now.
Yeah, I'm currently sat in Leeds, yeah.
Wow, brilliant. Sorry, Matt.
Nice. No, that's fair enough, Matt. I think that it's a big step up, isn't it? Right, a team that's just come down, a team that's going to have ambitions. So, best of luck to you, mate. Any words for the Worthing fans whilst you're here? I
would love to speak to the Worthing fans, and don't want them thinking I'm leaving for money or whatever it is. But I appreciate all their support, constantly backing me, and I mean there'll be a few that will be a bit upset, and to those I can only apologise. But I did what I could last year, got us up, and did everything I could, and left it all out there. So I appreciate all their support and all the love I've had on the socials, because I did expect there to be a few hate comments, but there hasn't been from what I've seen anyway. So I appreciate that, and I'll always be down at Woodside.
You will always, from last season, have hero status in Worthing. You
100%.
go back down there, you will never have to buy a beer ever again if you go down to Worthing. You will.
Brad, if you come out with me, Brad, you ain't paying for a beer for 3 days. The problem is that's where you go. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, boys.
Gareth.
Evening, Brad.
Building.
Evening, mate. How are you?
Traitor.
Here he goes.
Nah, I'm made up for you. I'd said to you in a message that I was a bit confused by I thought League 2, League 1. A bit confused by the same league. Thought you might give it a shot at Worthing this year, but obviously Harrogate are a massive club.
Yeah.
So it's a big move for you. Made up for you, mate.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No, is Dave going to sponsor you at Harrogate as well?
I don't think Dave was sponsoring me actually for this season at Worthing. Mic drop there. Shocking. But
if you get short, you let us know. Let us know.
Yeah, I will, mate.
We'll send the boys up.
And if you could just make sure you're busy when Harrogate come to Woodside or Worthing come up there, that'd be great.
Hamstring.
Yeah.
No, I'll be looking forward to coming back down to Woodside.
Brad, on behalf of all of us, not only that, my family that watched you light up Woodside Road last year, without a doubt, one of the most exciting players I've seen at Woodside Road in the last 10, 15 years. You were a breath of fresh air. Every time you got the ball, people were like, he's going to do something, you know. I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for the club. And not only that, giving us that special day when it was secured, when the league was done and they went up there, you know, that day, I'm still having paracetamol daily after that because it was that mad. Seeing all you lot in the boozers and that around town, integrating with the fans.
Yeah.
And you are the man. You've been a supporter of our shows all the way through. We're going to absolutely keep an eye on what you're doing. You're going to be our unofficial man up in the north, our inside guy. Brad, thank you so much for everything. You are a Worthing legend. You will have the key to the town anytime you come back. And indefinite, when you're playing against us, though, it's all out the window. All right?
Oh, I appreciate that. That's some really kind words there.
Dollar hands a wanker. I'm practicing already,
That's kind
mate.
words there.
So now Brad's he's there. He's going to get with all his agents and all his contracts he's doing now and his deals he's getting there. We're going to wish him best. Thank you for tuning in, mate, and joining the show. You come on anytime you want. You got our digits. You are a legend.
Appreciate that. Thank you
Love
very
you,
much.
mate.
Cheers, Brad.
Care.
Appreciate it, mate.
No worries,
Don't
lads.
smash
Thank you for having
it,
me on.
Brad. Don't smash it.
I will, mate. Appreciate all the messages, boys.
Yeah, good luck for the season, mate.
Thank you very much,
Bye-bye.
lads. Speak to you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
What a guy. What
Wow.
a guy. Brad
How the
coming
hell
on.
did you pull that off? What a legend.
Brad
Gaz.
coming on. You
Gaz,
know, look,
well done, sir.
Every time I've reached out to that guy, he's been open, honest, and he's been willing to come on. And I said to him in the chat that I had with him, I said, look, I could understand it for League 2, League 1. I understand Harrogate are a big club, and I can't take that away, but it's the same league. And I said that to him, and he sent back a love heart to that message, and I was like, look, he's taking it in stride. He knows, like he said, he thought there'd be some backlash, didn't he?
yeah, look, that lad has gave nothing but great times to Worthing FC. You know, Worthing wouldn't have won that without him. I don't. You know what I mean? You don't become the top scorer at his age. He's got such a future ahead of him. You know, but more than that, he's a nice guy. You know, he must have good people around him. He's always been a supporter of this show. He doesn't have to do that. No. He doesn't have to come on.
Have to come on today.
Not at all. Not at all.
I bet if he asked his agent would have said, "Don't go on." I don't think you're talking to me. And you know, like I said, look, we're not in pro football here, but we're as close as. But for him to give his own time while he's set up in Leeds, just on a transfer, you know, hats off to him, mate.
We'll always make sure that lad is never stitched up on there. Yeah. We've always got his back because he's always been good to us. I love the lad.
We had him on, was it twice last season? I think we had him on twice last season.
Such a great guy. We wish him all the best. How many is he going to get? I reckon if he's firing, he gets 20, mate.
I was going to say 20. 20's got to be his target.
He gets 20 in that league, mate. There's no way he's playing from the year after.
No way. The League 2, if not League 1, definitely.
If not League 1. Yeah, and you know what I mean? Then the sky's the limit for the boy. And I would love to see it. In God rest his soul, the same way as Kevin Keegan, I would love it. Love it.
As we were led to believe that you were fixing a coffee machine, you was obviously out in Leeds tapping up Worthing.
Yeah, I was.
Secret agent.
Mate, honestly, I got a phone call. I got in from work. My daughter was just about to get home. Got a phone call. Our coffee machine's broken. Now, more often than not, you can get away with it and you can get around it. But this coffee shop is probably the busiest coffee shop in Worthing. That independent coffee shop in Worthing, in the town centre, going into 24 degrees tomorrow. They'd be absolutely rammed tomorrow. But their coffee machine was 25 years old. It's like a Rolls Royce of coffee machines. and it's just keep going on and on. But I think it might have met its grisly end.
Have you upsold them, Gaz, a new machine?
No.
Absolutely.
No. I've spoken to them. They're going to get a second opinion on the machine and then come back to me tomorrow. So we'll see. We've left it with them.
No problem.
But I don't know what we've actually done. Where are we up to?
Let's get back to the Prem. Let's get back to the Prem. Those shots from day one. You know,
we were talking about
when lads like that come on, we stop the show and we move. So it's been some shocks. Did we really get it right with these teams?
But after 2 games, I think it's impossible.
I don't think you can.
I heard James Westlake's post-match yesterday. Have you done the results yet?
We got them up here. Yeah, I'll get them up.
Where did you get that from? There you go.
You ain't got Saturdays on there, though.
No. This is yesterday's ones he said on there. Yeah. So, talk to me about Sussex then. You said about James's post-match.
He said he just didn't look at it, but they said, look, there's still 36 games to go.
Yeah.
And I think we all predicted that the top 6 or 7 teams would all beat each other at some point this season. And we've just seen it then. I think most of us put New Haven within the top 7 or 8.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, and I love to be wrong.
100%. Like last night, New Haven deserved their win. They did deserve their win. And
you were there, weren't you?
Yeah. And James said that.
Tell us then. Spit some psalms on us.
So I put at half-time and I was confronted by someone from the Sussex bench and I came back out and I can't remember his name. But he was like, I've just seen your tweet. Don't think I agree with that. But actually, I can't remember his name. I'll find his name for you in a second.
That's football, guys, isn't it? It's your opinion, bud.
And I was like, look, that's my opinion. I went, what was the score at what was the score at half time? New Haven 1-0 up. I went, New Haven deserved the win then, right? So Breachy top bloke at New Haven. 100%.
He is.
I stood chatting to Breachy for ages last night. I had a quick chat with the fine wine himself, Robbo.
Mate, he still bangs in goals, doesn't he?
Mate, he scored a great goal. Broke through the line yesterday. Started it past Bromwich. Great goal yesterday. Breachy had a nice chat with him. We were talking coffee as well and that sort of thing. So, look, we were talking coffee and football, might I add. For what it was worth, there was a bit of grit and determination about New Haven yesterday. They went 2-1 up and then they had to show a little bit of grit and a little bit of fight. And Breachy actually said to me, that's not us. That's not us at all. We've never really shown that. But they did last night. They cleared two balls off the line. They did ride their luck a little bit. But you've
got to know sometimes, mate, haven't you? If you're playing against a team that's just come down from the league above and you at their place, you need a bit of lady luck on your side, mate.
But actually, I don't think they looked out of place, to be honest with you. I think they were good. They were good for their 2-1 win. They deserved their 2-1 win, and they go again Friday night.
Is that, Gaz, a young team last year playing 40-odd games together has now brought that grit and determination and dying?
No. So the back 4 or back 5, I think one of the goalkeepers there last year come in, but the back 4 is different to last season. There was a couple. There was 22-year-old, 23-year-old, there's the 19-year-old. So it's still young.
Yeah,
it's still young, but he did say it's different centre half partnership than they had last year. So they've brought a little bit of experience in, and they've still got Robbo up top, banging in goals.
And just going back to what Warren said there, do you think the conditions upset Sussex yesterday? To be fair, New Haven play on 3G, didn't they?
I do.
Yeah.
You know, so
actually,
if anything,
credit where it's
New Haven have to take that credit. They really do.
Yeah. Credit where it's due, because I'm not getting any of these comments coming through. I don't know what's going on. Credit where it's due, the pitch actually looked all right at Sussex. There was a few lines running down it, but it was green. there was green on it.
They've obviously been water in it then at some stage.
Yeah. There was some green on it. So shout out Pat Harden as well. Lays it on.
Uncle Pat, top guy.
Yeah.
Did you speak to him after, Gaz? What was his thoughts after?
I didn't speak to him after. I hung around, had a quick chat with Breachy, quick chat with Robbo, and then I had to get back because I'm trying to get my head back into going to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning. I've not done it for about 2.5, 3 weeks, so it's a little bit tough. Yeah. So I get home, get to bed, make myself refreshed, ready for this morning.
But your opinion then, Gaz, New Haven deserved the win.
New Haven deserved the win 100%, and I put it on Twitter last night. They 100% deserved the win. They battled well.
It is.
Yeah, something he's happy before.
Yeah, can I just ask, Gaz, do you think that Sussex, because they got relegated last year and stuff, maybe got a little bit of a hangover from last year, thinking that this year was going to be easier?
No.
Okay.
I don't, because I don't think the brothers will allow that.
No, they won't. No, I don't either, but I just thought I'd ask.
And they've brought in a few players from last year. I don't think it's the same 11 as last year. Brought in a few players. I just think they had an off game.
Yeah.
And I think every single one of the Sussex bench at full time went over to the New Haven bench and said, "You deserve that. You deserve that. You deserve that." To every single coach and every single person on the New Haven bench was told
that's class.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. They have put a video out today of a handball incident. Wasn't given as a penalty, and the referee didn't have the best game yesterday. Right, it wasn't horrendous, and I know him. So if he was to ever message me and ask me, I'd tell him exactly the same thing. I don't think he had the best game. His first game back after a year out with an ACL injury. Right. He's been given Sussex versus New Haven. On top of that...
Who was the ref?
Oscar Cotton.
Oscar's a great guy.
Yeah.
Good guy.
And I'm going to give him some praise in a second. I don't think he had the best game. First game back after an ACL injury. He come back and he was being assessed. And his first game back after a year out, which...
easy.
I think is a little bit shithouse.
Yeah, but why are they giving him such a big game as well? Shouldn't they be easing him in?
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you? But I think
what
it was nice to see is it was a younger officials last night. They were younger. They weren't They were younger. They were probably, I think Oscar, is early 30s. The other two were probably in their early to mid 20s. So it was the younger officials last night, which was nice to see. But the handball incident, for about 2 or 3 minutes after he gave no penalty, the Sussex bench and the Sussex players were still going on. He's made his decision and he stopped play. He blew his whistle, he stopped play, and he said, "Here's my explanation for not giving a penalty." He explained, he stopped play because it was going on, and he explained why it wasn't given as a penalty. It wasn't given as a penalty because it was too close proximity for the player to move. So it was dead beat, and that's why he didn't.
You prefer that, though? A ref that
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Because then it killed it dead.
Yeah. Then no one stops moaning. Then they all get on with the game and think fair play.
Yeah.
Oscar's a good ref, mate.
He got a lot of sort of like laughs from the crowd. Like, I've never seen that, but I'll have his back. Like, he's offered to come on here, but it was someone said no somewhere along the line. He's offered to come on. He'll happily talk. He's an open referee, like, and I will give him praise. We give enough referees shit when they're shit. I don't think he had the best game, but I think the way he managed the game in terms of stopping the game, saying that it was that's why he gave this decision. Mm-hmm. And then for one of the goals that was cleared off the line, the lino made a sort of this. I thought he had a good game, but I would say that. Yeah,
I bet you would, Clive. Shad, Clive.
It was given. It was cleared off the line. The lino sort of went like that, as if to say. It was a bit of confusion, really, and
did he point back to the halfway line then, as if it's a goal?
Well, I don't. That was where the confusion was. Like he pointed, like as if it hadn't gone out. Was it towards the halfway line, or was it? It didn't go over the line. So then, obviously, they were going, "Look at your lino, look at your lino, look at your lino." and he looked at his lino. He had to stop the game and then walked over to the lino. They had a conversation which was surrounded, but then he told him to get back, and it was a no goal. Like, he went no goal, and
it just goes to show, because the couple of days before that they go and beat Lingfield 5-1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is this the league where everyone's going to take points off everyone?
I think we said that.
Yeah, I said that, and I even said it tonight before you got on, Gaz. Yeah. I reckon someone's going to win this league with 75, 80 points. It ain't going to be a 95.
I said that in the deep dive.
Yeah. I think already the first 2 games have already shown us that, boys. That it's going to be teams are going to be beating everyone else, and no one's going to. But guys, that's what we want. This is what's going to make it exciting. You don't want someone being 20 points clear in January.
No, I've called this league this league is going to be the most competitive Step 5 division in the country this year.
It's box office. It is absolutely box office. Look at the players that are joining these leagues.
Well, have you seen the attendances?
There was 363 there last year.
Last year or last week?
Oh, last night. It's been a long day. I just had I had a coffee about half an hour ago as well.
Bloody hell. No, the crowds have been brilliant all everywhere so far. And I know no one else has started yet, so people are wanting to get their fix, and the gates already at this time of the year are already up. But there's regularly 200 plus, I think, but a lot of the games this season already, which is great for Sussex football. It's brilliant.
It is. It is. I'm just going to give reason just stops for a game. Okay, I'll get that, Tom. I'll get that.
What was that? What did I miss?
No, it's just what Tom's saying there. Matt, a team that sometimes we don't give enough credit to, maybe don't talk enough, and my guy born of Tots, Bexhill.
Are you about to say Bexhill? Because I've just brought them up on my phone because I wanted to talk about them next. So that's actually...
They're 2 from 2. Over to you.
I think, glad you brought them up. I think they're a team that's had a very quiet but impressive start to the season. Last night especially, they went down to 10 men very, very early on, and then came away with a 2-0 win. 1 on the opening day, 2 wins from 2. They're a team that people were talking about being in and around, right? So maybe it's not a massive surprise. But I think, it's another team, a bit like Roffey, that have fired themselves to the front of the conversation, especially last night, right? You're away from home. You'd gone down to 10 men early. That could have easily, at the very least, just stayed as a ball draw, right? If they sit back, they try not to lose. But instead, they've gone and taken the game. They've scored in both halves, I think, to take another 3 points. So, massively impressive team. I think, for some people, that's not...
They had 2 relatively easier games, though, haven't they? They've not played...
Yeah, I mean...
They've got to win them, though. They've got to win them.
We would have expected to win both them games. You do have to win it, Mike, absolutely. But they're 2 games that they would have thought, they're 6 points for us.
Definitely, but I would say, especially last night, when you go down to 10 men, it doesn't matter who you're against. When you're away from home and you're down to 10 men, right, that's a job ahead of you there, right? And Seaford would have been running high because they've won the opening game. Again, it's just against Lancing. But you're playing a team that's feeling good about themselves. They've won their opening game. They're at home. They've got a man advantage. So I think, actually, let's see, so they were there for the take. I mean, the opening weekend is probably one of the lower quality fixtures we'll see across the season, Seaford versus Lancing. But I think obviously they're two games that they would have expected to win, but last night especially I think has shown their quality, right? Because whoever you're playing, right, if you're away from home, you're down to 10 men really early on. I'll see if it was...
Sorry, I've just seen Cam's comment there. When I saw Seaford at the weekend, they were there for the taking. But they clearly weren't, though, were they, Cam? In the nicest possible way, they clearly weren't there for the taking, were they?
I think,
am I right in saying Bexhill don't go back to the ground till after the cricket, maybe a month's time? Is that right?
Yeah, which it might disrupt them a bit, but I think it's something that they'll be prepared for, right? It's not going to be a shock to them, right? They know what they're dealing with there. I can't imagine it will change things too much for them, right? So, another team definitely to watch. They've played 2 teams that you would expect to be maybe in the bottom 5, 6. But as you said, Mike, you've got to win them, right? You can only play who's in front of you.
Well, again, guys, though, I think Friday night will be, or Saturday will be a tough game. They've got East Grinstead away in the FA Cup, haven't they? So
I think that could be a really good game, that one.
I think it could be at the moment.
I think we'll learn a lot about both teams from that. And I know it's just the cup.
Absolutely.
The next team I want to bring up is a team that I said had to start well this year. They historically, don't have the best starts and sort of come through at the end. Stories boys, Eastbourne United, doing bits, signed players, quality players pre-season. Looks like everything's clicking down now. I think they beat Eastbourne Town as well in their annual cup as well pre-season. What we got to say on them, because they haven't done anything wrong, have they?
They really haven't. I mean, obviously last night they played Little Common, who, looking like maybe they might be the whipping boys this year. But again, you can only play who's in front of them. They played very well. A 5-1 and a 4-1. They beat Wick 5-1, and Wick tonight, as far as we know right now, are drawing with Midhurst and are clearly a very credible side, right? So
what's the update on that?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen nothing on social, so I'm assuming it's still 1-1. Anyone that knows different, feel free to update us. But I think that they've done, 5-1 and 4-1 in their first two games. That's pretty impressive.
Oh,
right?
Mate, you can't ask for a better start than that. Any gaffer at any level will bite your hand off for that.
No, 100%, right? And, again, maybe they're playing teams that you might expect to be in the bottom half of the table. But that's, you can only do what you can do, right? 9 goals from 2 games. Yeah, I think, again, another team that's going to be right up there.
I'm looking at their next 4 games, Eastbourne United. On next Friday, because obviously they've got the FA Cup, yeah? The FA Cup aside. Next 4 league games. They've got AFC Vardinians. They've got Haywards Heath, Lancing, and Bexhill.
Couple of wins, couple of draws from that, they'll be laughing. That could be enough to be top of the league.
It could be the start that they haven't had over the previous seasons, and now they've done.
Yeah, Haywards Heath will be a great game for them. Haywards Heath against them. That will really show what level they're at. Like we said, pre-season and the first couple of games can be a bit misleading, but by that time as well, though, Mike, if you said that's 4 games, they'll be, that might 5-6 games into the season, we'll definitely have a better understanding of what level they're at.
I think you're right. I mean, there's no denying that team should be there or thereabouts. They really should, Eastbourne. It's a case of, can they maintain it? I'm sure now they can. I think they've recruited brilliantly. I really do. I think their gaffer down there is a top gaffer. He knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. I think he knows. He knows the club around enough that he can get it done. I think. There's a lot of people on the other show. Billy Wood, he really tipped him. He said, "Look, watch out for them this year. They're gonna do something." But whilst we're up the top there, okay, let's have a look. Who else?
Just going back to Russell's comment there, Eastbourne haven't even had so much as a yellow in their first 2 games, so they're definitely behaving at the moment.
Up the United. So let's look at these rest of these match day 1s and match day 2s. Let's look down the bottom. Little Common, you mentioned them. Had a hiding from Roffey on match day 1.
Not much better against Eastbourne.
No, but look, 2 teams that are going to be there or thereabouts fighting.
That is a horrible start to the season for Little Common. But I always say it, you've got to play everyone twice. So, leagues, get it coming to sort of November time is when you get a truer picture of where we're at. Even in the Premier League, you get teams that run away with it at the start of the season, that are overachieving.
Goal, Wick, 2-1 up against Midhurst.
Wow.
Midhurst
that must be pretty late on as well.
I was going to say, what minute are we there? Because it's coming up to 9:15.
I think they kicked off at 7:30. Cheers, non-league.
So, I mean, that must be into the dying minutes and seconds of the game.
Yeah, we're in added time here.
Ellis Collier with a goal there for Wick. Wow, an upset on the cards.
I mean, look, we all said that Wick would probably have a tough season this season. You know, about 85 minutes in, apparently. One thing I do know about Wick, and I actually spoke to Craig Stewart earlier in the day. This year for them is about surviving, maintaining, and keeping those players, because they know that next year they've got a fantastic new 3G pitch to go on, developments at the club. So, you know, and Ellis loves scoring against Midhurst. Yeah, that is going to be an interesting one, because if you look at most of the teams that we thought would be around the top are already dropping points.
Yeah, and I think it just goes to show why this league is going to be so exciting, right?
It's over.
1-2-1.
There you go.
Over.
Done it.
Is
Are
it?
you sure?
A massive result for Lee Baldwin, Craig Stewart, and the lads down there.
Are they coming back on?
They might not now after that, but we.
But guys, I think as well that shows a lot of account. You go away, you go on Saturday, and you get dicked 5-1 in your first game of the season, to then roll your sleeves up and go and win against one of the teams that a lot of people are tipping to get in that playoffs. I know it's against 10 men, but that is a hell of a result.
Who got sent off for Who got sent off for Midhurst?
Don't know.
Not sure.
I'm not
doesn't say on the socials.
It was
I'll tell you what.
They said, they said it was a head loss. He was on a yellow card. He's got into a scuffle with someone else, and
George Bingham. It's not very often if there's a red card that he's not got one as well. He's done well there.
There you go. But they said it was a total head loss.
Wick are playing at Bognor because they are installing a new pitch, I believe, over the autumn period. So they're playing over at Bognor for this season. I think they might go back in the new year. Depends on.
Interesting. Right, let's have a quick stop there for a second. Just want to quickly bring up this whilst Gaz is here. Me and Gaz were down at the Lockswood tournament on Sunday.
And my wife, let's give her some credit. She was out as well.
And his beautiful wife Chelsea were down there as well. We had a great time at Lockswood FC. Thank you to Mark Lacey, to Ian and Graham and all the lads down there. Paul, everyone had a great day. One of the best run youth tournaments we've been involved in. But Gaz had a great day with a coffee there. Get down. If you are a club that needs a coffee truck for the day, get in contact with the SNLF food guy, Gareth Spinks. He will be able to sort you out. And I'll tell you one thing. It is beautiful coffee and a lovely peach iced tea I had, you know.
I think that would be more of a summer thing, mate. Yeah, look, I don't just want to come down and take all the money away from the club. Like, I'll come down, I'll make coffee. You don't have to provide tea or coffee all afternoon, so there's no cost to you. And on top of that, I'll give you 15% of what I take on the day. That's not profit. That is the 15% of the turnover that I take on the day.
Russell, I will be on that Beano to Margate. You know that. Get that booze underneath the coach sorted. I will be there, my friend. Well, what else have we got? Let's go through.
I don't know, because I don't actually know what you've done, so you're going to have to lead this. I had it all prepared and everything.
You did, but things went. You know, we're going through the results that have happened in match days. Let's have a little shout out to Billings, shall we?
Yeah.
Eddie's boys. They are working with super low resources. First couple of games in step 5. Great guy, great manager, really a football guy, got the team spirit. Takes a point, first point at step 5 against Horsham YM last night. After they just lost at the weekend, didn't they?
Narrow loss to Bexhill 2-1.
That's it. Yeah. Look, Eddie's lost one of his star players this year as well. Shocked everyone by coming out of nowhere to get in the playoffs and actually go and win the playoffs. Come up there. The man needs some real credit for his lads. How well can they do this year?
I think they'll survive.
Oh, go on.
Well, I think they'll survive, and that would be a good season for them, right? Try and keep your players into next season. They've got experience at the level. I think that they've already shown that they've got enough about them to compete. They came from behind last night as well, right? So again, another team showing character. We've seen a lot of that, right? Teams that are coming from behind already, which maybe that's something that we'll continue to see with it being so even, right? But I think they'll be safe. I think are there two worse teams than Billingshurst? I would say probably. I'm not going to name names. The table speaks for itself.
Why not?
Our predictions speak for themselves. No, I think I'm pretty sure in my predictions, right, I had Little Common and Lancing to go down, and right now they're the bottom two, right? And those two teams have looked really off the pace. And again, it's 2 games, right? But one of them's been thumped 8-0, and Lancing have just shown, nothing really at all. So, I think Billingshurst will be safe, and I think going into next season, if they can keep those players that have got experience, then they'll be laughing, right?
But yeah, I hope so, because it's a fantastically well-run club. It's so welcoming when you go there. You can tell they are a cruiserweight fighting in a heavyweight division this season. They really are. But if you want to progress as a club, you've got to stand up and be counted, and you've got to go out and do it. And Eddie's boys look like get their first point on the board early doors.
And on that though, not a lot of people have expected them to have got a point off Horsham YM. They wouldn't have done. So
No.
as we said before, Horsham losing on Saturday, only getting a point so far, 2 games in, 1 point.
I predicted them to finish second.
You did. It can all happen, mate.
I know their gaffer, Giles. He's frustrated. He is frustrated with how some things have gone pre-season, and maybe that's rippling through there, because you lose Noel Fisher. Noel Fisher, one of the best players in the league, that was there. Gone to Lewis, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, they lost Adam as well, haven't they? It's not just a case of losing Noel Fisher. They've lost Adam as well, who's obviously gone to Stenning. Like, they've lost players up the pyramid. So
which is okay if that happens. Because
I was about to say, that's a sign of success, Mike. Is the fact that your players are in demand from teams high. Also going from step 5 to step 3 for Noel, that's a big step up. I'm telling you, it really is. But he's more than capable of doing it. He absolutely is. So
absolutely. And
as a manager, you only want what's best for your players, because what it is as well, it shows the next Noel Fisher that comes along, he'll be prepared to sign for you, because he knows then he's got an opportunity of going up a couple of leagues. That's what players want to work for managers that will not stand in their way, that want to help them progress and to move forward. And
Liam was pushing for his big move anyway.
Well, he did. He said, didn't he? I saw that interview that Lee Penn did with him. He said, "Look, I took him to Bromley in on a trial. I've been putting him in places. So as a gaffer, hats off to Liam for doing that, knowing that he's going to lose one of his star player to benefit the lad personally. That's a massive thing for a manager to be able to do. And as I say, other players will want to go and play for him off the back of that. So I think I said earlier, they're just going to go through a little bit of a transitional period at the start of this season, getting the new players in, getting them fit, getting them up and running, trying to get them ready. Like I said, did he sign Maguire Drew to replace? No, I know he signed him last season, but if he has, then they're totally different, two different players. I know Jordan's obviously scored on Saturday, but he's a total different player than Noel is. So, and players like Noel don't come around and don't fall out of trees, and it's contacts and people that you know. So I've got no doubt Horsham will be there or thereabouts. They're just having a bit of a tough time at the start of the season. Like we said before, though, there's a few other clubs in there that we thought were going to be there that have only got 1 point and after 2 games.
Well, we take the FA Cup out this weekend. Their next 3 games: Forest Row at home, New Haven away, Rothwell away.
Tough.
That is tough. But luckily for them, they do then go on to play Lancing and Little Common back-to-back. So maybe they'll find some confidence there. But, I mean, there are teams that we've talked about needing, quick starts to the season, right? teams like East Grinstead, teams like Heath that have got a point to prove. YM another one that will want to prove that they deserve to be up there again this season. So it's tough. And those matches you've just mentioned, Newhaven away and Roffey away in particular, that's 2 tough games. And if they're 5 games in and they've maybe picked up 2 draws, maybe a win against Forest Row, even that's not going to be easy. I think they'll start to worry a little bit, right? Because this isn't a league where you can afford to go on a big losing run because it's going to be so tight. All of a sudden you're worrying, and teams are going to look at you and think, okay, we can get something here. Maybe they'll go into those games against Lancing and Little Common, and Lancing and Little Common will be thinking, wow, this is a good game for us. So
yeah. And on the back of that, sometimes are Horsham paying the price this season for their last season's success of going under the radar a bit? They've overachieved last year, put themselves up there. We're all talking about them going up.
Well, it was their highest finish in what, about a decade?
Yeah, at least. Yeah. I was going to say between 10 and 20 years, at least. So, that's the price sometimes you've got to pay for success, is when you're up there, your players get poached. They do. Other clubs start looking at them. What are they doing over there? Who have they got? Who's their top scorer? Let's go and watch them. They start scouting the players. Definitely.
They did have a red card last night, YM, which I think it wouldn't be unfair to say last season.
They had 7 bookings on Saturday.
I think it would be fair to say that maybe discipline might be an issue, as it maybe has been in the past as well. So I did see as well that opening game. Yeah, they if you could bet on that and you'd put booking points, you'd be rich. But yeah, so a lot of yellows in the first. I read last night.
Who got the red?
I think over 5 bookings in a game. I think that's an even bigger fine from the FA for that. You end up getting clobbered.
It's a charge, isn't it?
I think they do it. How many do you get? But it's a lot of money. I remember it was like over $2,000 they ended up having to pay because they went over a certain amount of disciplinary points, and they absolutely clobbered. We're talking thousands of pounds, a couple of grand.
Really?
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, honestly, I'll do my research and find out. But yeah, it's a lot of money.
Any refs out there or anything want to clarify that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because that seems ridiculous.
Yeah. It's a lot of money. You get extra disciplinary points for how many you get, and if you go over a certain amount, sometimes you can take 1 book and it ends up costing the club over £1,000 in fines to go to that next level.
So they were 1-0 up yesterday when the red card came for Leon Fisher.
It was Leon.
So, and then Billingshurst have scored after that. So there's no way that you can say the red didn't affect the game. So I think they need to get on top of disciplinary stuff. I think last season there were a couple of instances as well where that cost them, and it's already costing this season. So
I can't find anything for non-league. But
it's about fines. Sorry, guys, it's about fines.
Yeah, that's about fines as well.
Go on, you go. Go on.
I found professional in English professional football, such as the Premier League and EFL. The FA charges and fines are £25,000 if they receive 6 or more yellow cards in a single match.
Oh, here we go.
We'll come back to the fines in a minute because I've had another manager mess with me. Tom, commiseration. What happened?
I think the red card killed us, mate. First half, I'll be honest with you. I think credit to Wick. They've just come out second half and they've just absolutely dominated us. They've got a hell of a side there. Like I said, when I first come on this evening, it's a completely different Wick side to what we played last year. Fair play to them. I think that we had chances in the second half, but it just wasn't to be, mate. Unfortunately,
it must be a tough one to take, mate, because you're looking at that fixture. Wick got a bit of a pounding the week before. Obviously, from what Craig Stewart was saying, you were controlling and
Nick won, mate, and we've gone on to lose the game, and I think with 11 men, Mike, to be honest with you, we win the game hands down. But look, we learn from the mistakes, and we move on to Saturday.
Now, talk to me about Saturday, because I'm going to be there. I am absolutely buzzing. Is that Con?
Yeah, do you want a word, mate?
Yeah, Connor, sorry to do this, mate. Give me an assessment of the game. I know it's hard to take. You've lost a man. Be real. You've got thousands listening.
Mate. To be fair, mate, I think, 11v11, I don't think we could have lost the match. That's just in complete control. I'm not even joking, mate. Probably could have been 3-0 up until the red card. But happens, mate. Happens. They thoroughly deserved it in the end because we didn't hold the discipline. We didn't hold our control for long enough in the match. Realistically, we've been good for half an hour, but that's not good enough. So, it's disappointing, mate, but it is what it is. You go against Saturday, I suppose.
Now, Connor, you've got a big game in the club's history coming up on Saturday. I'm honoured to be there with you guys and spend the day, not only the day, the night with you guys as well. Obviously, I'm staying over there, taking Midhurst apart in there. How are you going to pick up these lads now for the FA Cup?
To be fair, mate, as I said, players, we do have very good players, mate. We have very experienced players. Obviously, one of them's done something he shouldn't have done tonight. But it's a good group. It's an experienced group. They've obviously been through bad times before, mate. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new. Bad results happen in football. It's just about remaining true and being consistent to obviously what you believe in and what you're doing as a group, really. And if they truly believe in what we're doing this year and believe in what we're doing week in, week out, then it shouldn't be too difficult.
Okay, did you just regarding Saturday? Have you come as a team come through sending off no knocks or anything like that?
Say that again, mate.
Has the team come through without any knocks for the big FA Cup game at the weekend?
Not really, mate. We had an injury in the warm up. We had one pull out. We had 2 subs today. So
Do you need me
again,
to
mate.
get my boots on for Saturday?
Yeah, do you want
I'll do it for you, mate. I'm probably only about
to?
9% fit, mate.
Yeah. So mate. As I said, it wasn't the most plain sailing evening, but it's it is what it is, mate. We've got lads missing, injured. We've got lads obviously. We should have one back from suspension at the weekend, but it's going to be a tough few weeks. Obviously, as I said, now Was is going to be suspended probably for a few games or whatever it is. But as I said, mate, it's just the
I
lads
mean,
can't quickly forget about this.
and what do you know about Larkfield and New Hyde in the FA Cup?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Zero.
It's got to be something on social media somewhere.
Yeah, probably
I'll
will
dig
be,
some
mate.
stuff out. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
And then
Right, boys,
just
I'm going to
finally,
go. All right.
before you go,
Go on.
your next 3 games after the FA Cup are Waffy, Guernsey, Southampton.
Yeah, it's a tough run, mate. It's a tough run, and looks like we're going to be doing it without one of our best players. So.
My guy, look, it takes class, Con. You know you're my guy. It takes class to come on after a defeat live from the Night Timber there. I'll see you
Mike, I've got
Saturday,
Craig
buddy.
here now as well.
Yeah.
I'll pass you over, all right?
Craig,
Hello, mate. You all right?
winning coach. How you doing? I bet you're a bit more happy.
Yeah. I mean, it was your sending off changed the whole game. To be fair, because they were dominating. But I've got to be honest. Second half, we were excellent. Our work rate was superb, and I think we fully deserved it in the end. We played some great football, and it's going to take time. It's going to be a long season, but we showed what we're capable of today. And when you lose your best centre half, obviously it's going to change the game. But we have to commend the way our boys have worked. They've worked so hard, even the subs. And hopefully we push on from this.
I mean, I spoke to you earlier in the day, and as always, you were confident about getting a result or taking something out of the game, which is great to hear. Because I'll be honest, us 4 probably believe you're going home empty-handed tonight.
Yeah, what was that? Sorry, mate. I couldn't hear then.
I'm saying you were really confident about taking something from the game when I spoke to you this afternoon.
Well, I think confidence is probably a strong word. I think with the side we've got and the players we've got, we know we're a good side. I think Saturday we got taught a footballing lesson, and there was a complete lack of fight throughout the whole team. But today, they showed lots of fight. We looked really fit, and they've worked really hard pre-season. Football's obviously they had players out, but we always have players out, and I think we got what we deserved, and it was a great move for the goal as well. Ellis Collier, great left foot strike, but the build up to it was superb, So yeah, we take it. We've got a massive game on Sunday, FA Cup, and one game at
Who
a
you
time.
got?
But
Who you got?
get 3 points. Camberley.
Camberley, big game.
Yeah, always
Well,
big. But
just one thing before you go. My
yeah,
beautiful little friend, how's Baldwin? How's he doing there? Because I bet he's buzzing me. How's Baldwin doing?
yeah, he's buzzing, mate. Rightly so. He's taken a bold step today. He's changed the side. We played 3-5-2 all pre-season. Taking a bold step. Looked at what we've got, and we certainly looked much more solid today. And that's credit to the manager at the end of the day. Sometimes you have to make tough decisions. He's made hard decisions, leaving players out of the squad as well. So yeah, he's buzzing, and rightly so. He deserves it as well with all the hard work that he puts in.
Well, go and tell
Craig,
those
I got
boys.
one thing for you, mate.
Yeah.
I'm working your boy so hard, he's fallen asleep in the van.
Again.
Any advice to try and keep him awake? Yeah, he fell asleep again today.
When he does it, just give him a right hook straight in the side of the head.
No, what I'm going to do next time is I'm going to brake check him, and he's going to wake up.
Just scream, put the brakes on and scream.
Yeah.
See what happens. Cheers,
he also said, please move the camera away from your face.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry. That's all right. I can't hear, that's why. I'm deaf. I'm getting old.
Can I ask?
Thanks a lot.
Craig, can I just ask one thing? Hi, Craig, it's Grant.
Yeah.
Hello, mate.
Yeah, mate, you right?
Good to see you, buddy. What did you change tactically when they went down to 10 men to make sure that you got the 3 points?
Made sure we got more width, because we weren't getting enough width anyway before that. But, they start to come very narrow. Press them higher as well. But, yeah, I mean, the idea was to get wider, and that's what we did. And started getting the full-backs on as well. And, left back scored a goal. Right back started it. So, it's good. Good performance. The energy was brilliant as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, coming back from a bit of a dicking, I hope you don't mind saying, the weekend to win tonight, mate. It's a great credit to you guys as coaches to turn that around, mate. Well done.
Yeah, and you got the players, mate, to be fair. The players were not, as a unit, we were poor on Saturday, but individually we were very poor. So I think, we can only do so much. Lee's taking the bold decision, but the players have been absolutely class, mate. Every single one of them.
You obviously got a reaction out of them, which is, as a coach and a manager, that's all you want to get and you want to prove. So well done.
Exactly, yeah. Thank you.
Cheers, Craig.
Cheers, chaps. Have a good evening. Take care.
Love you, Craig. See you later, mate.
Thank you.
Bless him. Well, look at that, lads. There we go. Literally getting updates live from the coaches, the chairman, and that. Not many shows off of that at our level. They really don't. And we'll be having more of that moving on. Okay. Let's get right, Matt, Grant, Gaz. Let's get right into these last match day twos and what we see.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't think we've said anything about it. We've talked about Lancing, but we haven't given Pagham their dues for 5-0.
And did you know about the controversy from the first game?
Is that with the goals and the ball bouncing off the wheel of the goal?
Yeah. Now, I've seen the video.
Oh, okay.
To their credit, and I don't normally give Guernsey credit, okay? To their credit, Mr. Vance had come out and said the goal should have stood, okay? So, fair play. The video didn't get released, but, they obviously didn't want to start anymore. But that came at a time when Pagham were 1-0 down, it could have been 1-0. So I felt a bit for them because Guernsey scored 2 in the last injury time. Is that right?
I don't know.
I think that is right. But you are right, Matt. The reaction. 5-0 at the Lions' Den.
I think, as you say, to bounce back from not just a loss, but a loss that it would be easy to feel frustrated about and heads go down, when it all starts to feel unfair. Because you're right, it was late on that it all turned around, right? So it was 1-0 for quite a while, right? And it could have been 1-1. So, yeah, I think, again, credit to him because it would have been easy to, lose your heads in the next game. So they've shown what they're all about. Again, a team that I think, should be finishing top half, top 10. So, I just wanted to make sure that we sung their praises, credit where credit's due.
But playing Lancing at home is a game that you want to play after you've lost at the weekend.
I mean,
get a
it's
bounce
gonna.
back.
I think Dale's under no illusion with his really young side, and his absolutely limited resources. Yeah, he's under no illusion where what they need to do to be competitive in this league. And I know they're all working hard behind the scenes. James Rhodes, Martin Gander, Dale and his team, all the boys, So I'm hoping they can get some points on the board, but they're going to be.
This spiral, Mike, this spiral ain't new, is it? This has been going on a few seasons now, this. So how are they going to get out of it? What's got to change?
Had Martin Gander not come in and overseen that club being pulled out of the shit, yeah? I mean financially, yeah? And I'll say in a sec, Cam, I'll tell you in a sec. There might not have been a Lancing now.
Wow.
Had he not done that. They were really, really in shit. Okay? Now, I'm pleased to say, considering I have played for that club, I did okay at that club. I earned a few quid as a centre-half.
That's your fault they're in the mire then, is it?
Mate, I was getting budget. I was getting 30 a point back in them days, mate.
Bloody hell.
At centre-half. I just didn't have the right attitude. I could play. But anyway, I know that they are on a trajectory now, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a long thing. I think Dale needs to get time and he needs to get some points on the board because they're all working there.
You're saying about that trajectory, that looks like it off the pitch, Mike, but on the pitch, it's still the same as last year. We're still seeing them getting beat. I know it's early days, 2 games in, 0 points. I'm just concerned already that it's going to be a long, hard, tough season.
Oh, look, I think that they're under no illusion of that. I mean, Cam asked, what are my thoughts on the thing? Let's not beat around the fucking bush. Lancing missed 2 penalties.
Yeah.
Okay? Both players that took the penalties were experienced players in Alex Lang and Scott Packer.
He was on the bench though, wasn't he, Alex Lang, start off with? He was
Both of them were.
I know. Why? They got players of that kind of that have played step 4. They're on the old Judy Dench, first game of the season. Have they been away pre-season? Don't know. I don't know the full story, but I was very surprised to see them on the bench on Saturday for the first game.
I don't think Langy played last night either.
Right. I'll have a quick look. Cam will probably tell us quicker than I can look.
I don't think he did, but look, I spoke to Packer after the game when he missed that penalty, and it always takes balls to stand up and take a penalty, yeah, right. But when you're one of the senior players, it's up to you to make that decision, and he did. And look, keeper went the right way. No Lang in the squad last night. Not sure why.
Is he injured, Cam? Is he injured?
Don't know. I don't know. But if they're to do something, they need players like that about.
Here he is.
Here he is, mate. It's all right. We've already got into the Inquisition for YM, mate. Hope you're doing well, my bro. But yeah, look. Give them... No, not these wear off. So, interesting. Okay, look, I hope they get out. It's going to be a long road ahead.
If he's not, though, Mark, I just say, is he the sort of player, though, that's going to stick around being bottom of the league, getting defeated when he's played the high level step 4, step 5 regularly at top clubs?
Well, I think that's for him to decide if he wants it enough. I'm sure he wouldn't have gone there if he didn't think that. I know he's friends with the management as well, so I'm hoping, and I really, because
he's got a long affinity at the club as well, so I take my hat off to that. Do you know what I mean? He's obviously going to help them out. I'm just concerned that they have got a mountain to climb already this season.
If he's playing for them, they're a better team.
100%.
In my opinion. However, I'm now looking after the FA Cup at their next 3 games. Are you ready?
Go on.
Lingfield away, Eastbourne United at home, Midhurst away. What are they taking from that?
A point.
If they take 1 point, they'll do all right.
Yeah.
Matt, what are you thinking?
I don't see him getting anything from it, I'm afraid. I could see that bit. Maybe a point at Lingfield, but I think nothing. I don't think they do. Which sounds awfully harsh, doesn't it? But
no, look. It's about opinions, yeah?
What?
And those opinions are obviously based on form, okay? And perception of form. So, look.
Which also, Mike, that goes on from last season, doesn't it? We're talking about that.
And the season before that, mate, right? Like, there's been nothing in the last couple of years to really, on the pitch, to give much hope, right? And off the pitch, different story maybe, but I just, again, happy to be wrong because I don't have anything against Lancing whatsoever. Just based on everything that we've seen, I think that it's going to be a struggle, and I think definitely against Eastbourne and Midhurst, I don't see them getting anything. But I didn't see Wick getting anything tonight against Midhurst, so who knows, right?
Exactly.
What is it? Why is it? Why can Lancing not seem to cut a break? And I get what's gone on off the pitch, but Dale Hurley is a very, very, very good coach.
He's an A licensed coach.
Yeah, he is a very good coach.
He's a great guy as well.
And he worked at the Russell Martin Foundation, so he's got that sort of that little draw. Is it the fact that the playing budget is low or non-existent? I don't know.
Look, put it this way, without.
What is it like? Why are they struggling year after year after year?
That's the $1 million question, guys. But they will have a budget. Alex Lang ain't playing for peanuts.
No. Do you think? And I think I've said it before, and I'm not here bashing the county FA. Do you think that being at Culver Road is holding them back? Because they've just signed a new contract, haven't they? I think to stay there.
Look, that's a tough one, and I think it's public knowledge that they had to settle outstanding stuff with that FA.
Yeah,
which should also, that, and it was no small amount. All right, it was enough where you think that is a mighty big part of a year's budget. Okay, and not only that they only get a percentage of the bar as well. So look, you can't really blame Sussex FA because you have to look at yourselves.
I'm not blaming anyone in particular. No. There's just got to be a culmination of different things that's causing that.
I think it becomes a mentality thing, doesn't it, mate? Like you lose enough times, you forget how to win, right? And I think that can seep through the entire club from top to bottom, right? And you see that with a few teams that have had, a couple of bad seasons, and you just can't, like, look at Uckfield, right, for example, that are just on a downward spiral. I think that's all going to change this year, right?
All fold or another one?
Yeah.
I think that it's you have to break out of the mentality and remember what winning feels like. And I think it's the same for a club like East Grinstead, right?
Yeah.
I agree. When was the last time they won a game, right? Like, genuinely speaking, right?
500 days ago.
Well, there you go, right?
That's true. It's just over 500 days.
Who's that?
It's Grinstead.
Wow, 500 days? Are you sure?
Yeah, you were in charge.
You think, it was just 3
years. They got a couple at the start of last season. It's not 500.
They got a couple of draws early on. I don't know if they got a win last season, did they? Maybe.
They did, mate. I'll have a look.
But yeah, I think it's definitely got to be a mentality thing, right? When you've been off the pace for so long, because faces have changed on the pitch, right? They, from 2-3 years ago, they've got almost a whole different story, right? So to still be doing poorly now, it's not the players. The manager is of a very high caliber, right? So I think it has to be something in the mentals, right? That it just, you go a goal down. Do you panic more and do you overplay more because you're so desperate to get that win, right? That then you start making mistakes. I think back to this time last year, the figures number that plays a part. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's the off the pitch stuff too, right? That it's hard to keep in the game. But I think that it's a team that if you don't start well in a game, you're just thinking, oh God, here we go again, right, against Pagham, they're 2-0 down early on, and you're thinking, Christ, it's another long night ahead.
So don't write off Pagham. They've just signed a couple of decent players, and they today.
Yeah. Well, I think two or 3 years ago they were playing in the Isthmian South East, and I think since the relegation from there, it's all just gone a little bit Pete Tong, innit? And something somewhere has got to give, whether that's relegation again or
it might not be the worst thing for him, mate, to have that reset. I mean,
no, but then they probably said that could be a possibility. Cam, the off-the-field things could be affecting them in mentality, but the players that they've got into like Langy, Packer, they got Simo in from who was at Ringmer last year, but
great player Simo.
Right? They've got him in there. They've got enough experience in there where they should be able to grab it by the bollocks and just fucking go for it.
I think that's one of the real explanations, right? When you've got players that the caliber you've spoken about, a manager like that, since the season before, it's been, it's just a downhill spiral. Like I say, we've seen this with other clubs, right? You get relegated once, you forget what winning feels like. Maybe it should have been another relegation last season. That's a conversation for another day, reprieves and all that. So, I do worry for them. I hope to be wrong, but we've said before, one or two teams has to get relegated, right? And it's hard to sort of look past them. But a question that I've got is how important, we've seen some big scores already this season. We're expecting the league to be very, very tight. How important do we think goal difference is going to be this season? I can see teams finishing on similar points. At the top and bottom of the table, I mean, right? So when you've got teams, Little Common and Lancing getting battered 8-0, 5-0, that's massive, right? I think it's going to be very, we've seen it in like the National League South a couple of seasons ago that, the championship can be decided on goal difference. And it honestly wouldn't surprise me if we saw that here, to be honest.
I mean, I think you're right. It's going to be that tight. But your teams like Roffey that are banging in goals already, 11 in 2, they're in the bag. And what was it Ferguson used to say, wasn't it? Goal difference always worth a point, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%, right? I think Camson there's already showing after 2 games. No, definitely. So I think, we're seeing some big results. I think we're going to keep seeing some big results across the season. So
just going back to the fines, lads, we've had one of the managers messaging from, I won't say from, but they had $5,000 in fines last season.
I told you, mate. I'm telling you.
And that team, quite well, Grant.
Forest Road. I told you. That's what that was on about.
$5,000, though.
Yeah, you get accumulated points. And just going back to it, East Grinstead won 1 game last season. They beat Hassocks 1-0 away from home. I think it was about September or October, so it's not been 500 days.
Right, but you want to speak to your number 1 TikTok star then at East Grinstead, because he put that on his TikTok.
Who's that then?
Oh,
I know you mean.
Yeah.
Tash guy.
Yeah.
Chris Shuttler.
Shuttler's good guy.
It's not 500 days. If he's listening, I'm telling you, they beat Essex 1-0. But anyway, going back to the fines, absolutely, that's what it is, Mike. And it's accumulation. Once you get a certain amount of bookings, 20 or 30, if you go to that next level, there's a huge fine chucked in on top of the FA. Because I also think
if you're a club that like Forest Road,
you don't budget for that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't budget for that.
No.
Where does that come from?
Well, when we were there, the players paid it.
Okay.
The players paid their fines. It was either deducted out of their expenses straight away, or they paid their fines, and if they didn't pay it, they never played the following week. So they had to pay their own fines because it's their own fault. There was a couple of occasions when, let's say, it was a ref and he gave a dodgy decision. Sometimes the club would say, "Yeah, look, we'll pay that because it ain't your fault." But if it's dissent or anything like that, they've got to pay their own fines. We're as a management team, you can't help it if one of your players calls the ref an effing C, can you? And gets sent off. You can't help that. £100 fine. There you go. So, but the club do then get punished. The accumulation of the bookings and the red cards, where the club gets fines, the club have to pay that. The players don't. The players will pay their individual fines, but the club will pay the accumulation and the roll-on of fines. And like you said, that they don't budget for it, so it can cripple you. Yeah, and I know Forest Road was about $5,000 last year.
And out of that, Who was getting the most bookings? You or Andy at the time?
Oh, me, I never got any. Nor Andy. That was when Ian got it. It was Ian Nichols. Get him on. Ian Nichols got sent off about 3 or 4 times on the dugout.
It was Ian that messaged me. Ian's a top bloke.
He's the word. Ask him. I met him last night at the East Grinstead game. I was speaking to him, but I didn't ask him that. But he got sent off a lot of times.
He just said, to be fair, $3,000 of it was him.
There you go. I'm telling you.
So Forest Row are a team we haven't really spoken about much tonight. I don't know if we've spoken about them at all. I think
they've got a very tough start. They had 2 tough games, mate.
Let's talk about them, because obviously they've had a start.
So they lost 3-0 to Midhurst on the opening day.
Yeah, and they're playing 7 games away in a row.
Yeah, I mean, last night's match, I think it was added on time where they managed to draw level. So by the slimmest of margins, grabbed a point from that game. Is it a disappointing start to the season? Or is it about what we might expect based on who
I think so. I think no one expected them to beat Midhurst away at the start of the season. No one would have put that down. And a point at home against Lingfield, I think they would have taken that. And as I said, I spoke to Ian last night, and a lot of the Forest Road players were at the game, probably about 10 of them. And they all sort of said a draw was probably a fair result. They said Lingfield, I've got 2 unbelievable wingers, absolutely ripped them apart.
Lingfield will surprise people this season. I don't know if Rich
I agree.
Yeah, they're quite average. So, but look, I'm going down to watch Forest Row on Friday. They got the FA Cup on Friday night. So I'm going down.
I think, isn't it?
Sorry?
They've got New Haven in the cup, I think, right?
They have New Haven in the FA Cup on Friday night at Three Bridges ground. So, yeah, I'm going to be popping along there to see.
I spoke to Lee Robinson about that on Tuesday night. I went, "You gonna be ready for Friday?" And he was like, "Oh God, Friday is it?"
He didn't even know.
No, he did, but I think it was just a sudden realization. He's just played 90 minutes on a Tuesday night, and he's got a day less to recover and be ready for Friday.
Yeah, but then Friday night games are great because they get big crowds. There's no other games on. You know, the players like it. I used to love them because it means you got another day to go out on the piss. You go out on the piss Friday night, and you've got another day recovery. So Friday night games are quality. I used to love them. Under the lights, brilliant, mate.
I think the Forest Row scenario is pretty similar to the Lingfield scenario as well.
It is. And I think they'll finish very close together.
They've both got a hell of a lot of new players in there, you know, and Lingfield had a really disappointing 5-1 result. Okay, and I know the chairman, Rich, he was disappointed, you know, and he's away on holiday at the moment, to be fair. But the same with Forest Row. They're bringing in 9, 10, 11 new players. Yeah. Again, what we said, is it about the time to gel, you know? I still think both of those teams will be probably 8th, 9th, 10th, around that thing. At the moment, you know. I think Lingfield could possibly kick on as well in there, but same with Forest Row, you know. It's going to be an interesting time, but again, a bit of character. Losing Hassocks 5-1 and then to come back and then take a draw, which they must feel aggrieved about, because I think it was in the last minute that
it was. Yeah,
it was added time.
Yeah. So you know, that was a reaction that Charlie's lads wanted in there. But I mean, Lingfield's next 3 games: Billingshurst, Lancing, Haywards Heath, obviously without the FA Cups.
Yeah. They'll be looking to get 6 points, though, out of them 3 games.
Yeah, I think they'd fancy that.
Yeah, they will be, internally.
No disrespect to the other 2 teams.
No, that's what they'll be looking at. They will. So, proof in the pudding. But interesting.
All right, lads. Anything about, at the moment, anything you need to discuss before we start winding down again another... You know, because now
we've done fixtures for Div 1 yet for the weekend, and the FA Cup fixtures.
So the FA Cup fixtures, let's get those up. I haven't got it up on the thing, but
I have got them if you want them.
Go on, just talk them through.
So Friday you got Forest Row at home to New Haven.
How's that one going? Let's have a prediction.
New Haven 2-0.
Forest Row 2-1.
Draw. Go to pens. Either way.
Is
2-2
replay
and
at
New
this
Haven
level?
on pens.
Does it go to pens or was it replay at this level?
Did they scrap
I
the
remember
replay?
they changed it, didn't they?
I think they've scrapped replays. I think.
Did they?
I think so. Yeah. Congestion of fixtures.
Lancing have got a tough one.
Yeah, we'll get to that one in a minute. I'm gutted I can't go to that, but it looks like a good one. 3 o'clock Saturday.
Sorry, guys.
Does get a replay, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants a replay at this.
No, absolutely not. It'll be Tuesday night, though, won't it?
Yeah, it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday, Friday, like that.
Yeah, mate.
It's great for the football fan. At least there'll be some games on Tuesday. Right, Saturday. AFC Vardinians host Eastbourne Town. That's a massive game for Vardinians. Tough, very tough game.
If Brad and the boys and Egg and that take something out of that game,
yeah,
I literally, I'll ring up Haig myself and give him the full credit that they've deserved. So look, I mean, don't write them off. It's the FA Cup.
Yeah. Lingfield.
But you would expect Eastbourne Town to win.
Yeah. Bexhill host East Grinstead Town.
That'll be a good game.
Yeah. Corinthian host Lingfield. So Corinthian are from sort of Kent League.
I think East Grinstead are at home, mate. I don't think
they are because I don't. Bexhill can't play at home until September.
It was supposed to be at Bexhill, but it got reversed.
Okay, I'm just going by what I've got. Maybe
I'm sure that's possible.
Yeah, I was just saying it just in case fans are travelling and that, but it is definitely at East Grinstead, mate.
Okay, Lingfield travel to Corinthian.
Tough game.
Crawley down Gatwick host Shearwater.
I can see Crawley taking that, but it'll be tight.
Go on, Dave. Dave and the boys going there. Go on.
They like a cut run and all, don't they? Crawley down.
Yeah,
they're good in the
normally in a trophy though.
Trophies,
no,
yeah.
bars, sorry, bars, not
bars.
Trophy, bars. Yeah.
Yeah, they do love it.
Guernsey host Crowborough.
That's a tough one for Crowborough.
Well, Muggsy, I said to you earlier, Muggsy was at the East Grinstead Guernsey game yesterday having a look at Guernsey. So he would have done his own work. He was there with his little notepad, writing it all down. So, mate, I'd have to put Crowborough for that one.
Hassocks host Sevenoaks.
Tough game.
Played each other last year, though. They'll know them very well.
Yeah. Horsham YM host Peacehaven.
That'll be
there's no love lost between those two teams either.
No.
And I've got, ironically, a lot of love for both teams. You know what I mean?
This is one you were talking about. Lancing host SE Dons. Right. Obviously, SE Dons are a...
SE Dons will bring the Avengers down there.
Yeah, there'll be a big crowd for that.
They will. I think Lee's. We've hooked up thanks to Sooty, by the way, one of the managers of Worthing United. He's hooked up a interview with Penn and one of their coaches there for the link. So yeah, look, it'd be a great day. FA Cup. It's just a massive ask, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
It would be up there with them beating Hayward Heath last year. It would eclipse that.
Yeah. Move on from there. Midhurst, obviously, spoke earlier, host Larkfield and Newhythe.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah. Pagham are hosting Hollands and Blair.
Where are they from?
I want to say like
Kent
or West London area. I can't remember if it's Kent or West London.
It's Kent, mate. It's Kent. I've played there.
Yeah. These next two are fairly big ties. Seaford travel to Punjab.
Tough for darts and the boys, that one.
Yeah. And this is another one. Roffey travel to Whitstable.
Whitstable are a team on fire right now, as are Roffey. So that.
Yeah, but Whitstable, mate, got a new gaffer in there, manager I know well. I was his assistant manager at East Grinstead, Matt Longhurst. He's gone over to Margate. So they've had a new manager come in now. They've had a couple of very good years of success. So, yeah.
And a couple of 4 ties on Sunday. Billingshurst travel to Erith and Belvedere, which again, another massive, massive game. That would be a tough game for them. Little Common host Haywards Heath.
That's probably not the game they wanted.
No.
Because if it was outside of the league, they could probably put their heads aside, but they know, that's Haywards Heath and they're going to bring the smoke.
Yeah. Wick obviously host Camberley Town. And I think, Mike, you're going to this one, Littlehampton versus Eastbourne United.
I'm going to two. I'm going to Midhurst. Going to spend a day with those boys and an evening with them. I'm going to stay over in Midhurst, cause some mayhem up there in that sleepy place, and then I'm going to be bang on it with the LA Ultras, with Mitch Gaskin and all the boys against Eastbourne. Has he got?
Eastbourne
Yeah.
United.
I'm going to look forward to that because Eastbourne United are on fire, so could be a good time. Could be a good time to play.
Off the back of the FA Cup, boys, the money that these clubs are getting, extra preliminary round winners, right? 1,125 quid. Extra preliminary round losers, 375 quid. This is the extra preliminaries. You go the preliminary rounds, 1,444 quid for the winners. First round qualifier, 2,250 quid. Second round qualifier, 3,375 quid. Third round qualifier, 5,600 quid. This is why, guys, a lot of these non-league clubs hang their hats on FA Cup runs. Yeah. It's so lucrative for clubs to win. Like I say, even if you win Saturday, 1,200 quid goes straight into the club's money. A lot of the manager will be going, brilliant, that's my budget. Chairman will be going, great, that goes behind the scenes to pay off X, Y, and Z. So that's where a little bit of conflict comes in. But the money that's generated from the FA Cup, like I said, win on Saturday, 1,125 quid for the winners.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of chairmen listening here going, mate, I could do with that money. Yeah. So it's it's not to be sniffed at, these games, and that's why it means such a lot to a lot of these clubs. And as a player, for me, playing in the FA Cup was always a buzz. Always a buzz. I know it's funny, I can tell my kids, mate, I've played in the FA Cup. But they think that I've been on telly on Match of the Day and shit. But they didn't realise it was extra preliminary round with 3 people watching. But I have played in the FA Cup. Do you know what I mean? But it's every player wants to play in it. So I used to love it. It's a day away from the league stuff. A lot of teams that have struggled can sort of use that as a kickstart. It's a free hit. No one cares if we lose, blah, blah, blah. Free hit, right, let's try and get some form. Let's do the right things. Let's get a win under our belt. As I think you said earlier, Matt, losing becomes a habit, winning becomes a habit. This is 100%. A good opportunity for some of them clubs that ain't one to go, right, boys, we've got a free hit Saturday, let's go for it. We win some money. The chairman normally comes in and goes, look, half the money can go to the club, half the money can go to the players. If you win, we're going out on the piss.
I'll tell you what, don't write off Roffey getting a little result.
No. I'm telling you.
No one's writing them off. It's just a tough. Obviously, they've won Whitstable won the Vars not last year, but was it last year before?
Yeah, we were there
back to back, did they?
No, just Stone won it.
Where is it, Gaz? Is it away? Is it at Whitstable?
It's at Whitstable, yeah.
Mate, in their crowds, they have league games. They get 400-500 for their league games. FA Cup game.
When they were at Wembley. They brought the world and his wife with them.
Yeah.
So they is the world's poshest goalkeeper playing in that game? Do we think? Is he
Monty Watson-Price?
Yeah,
my guy.
Yeah,
I hope so because he kept a clean sheet first game. They come back from 2-0 down, didn't they? Yesterday.
Yeah.
That shows character. So
hard to change a winning team, Gaz.
Yeah,
it is.
Absolutely. Considering he hung up his gloves. Yeah. We got a couple of other leagues starting again this weekend. Moving on from the FA Cup, County Div 1 starts this weekend.
Yep.
Arundel hosting Ringmer in the first game of the season. Saltdean, as Loz Edwards said earlier, got to get her passports out and get to Clanfield. Dial
It's better
Square.
to play him at the start of the season, though, Gav. He wants that rather than away on a Tuesday night in January.
Yeah, 100%. Dial Square hosts East Preston. It's a nice little local game for most of the East Preston boys.
Team we might have got wrong. Dial Square. A team we might have got wrong.
Yeah. Hailsham host Dorking Wanderers B. Infinity host Marlow.
Be a good game, that.
Wolverhamptons travel to Jarvis Brook.
I think we all had Infinity, didn't we?
Yeah.
Infinity boys.
Westfield's first game at this level is at Oakwood.
I tell you what, it's a winnable game for the Staplers, that is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Westfield, I had them rock bottom and took loads of grief off you boys. So come on, the Oakwood.
An all Surrey opening game for Reigate versus Guildford.
I fancy that Coach White to get that done.
Guildford
City, yeah. Shoreham host Selsey and Worthing United host Loxwood, although it's been reversed. It was Loxwood at home to Worthing United, but it's been reversed. And I think both me and Mike can both testify that Loxwood pitch is like the Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's a reason it's been reversed.
Oh yeah, you said about your trainers, Mike, looking like dust.
Mate, I took the Jordans, didn't I? And they just come back like they were 15 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On from that, the Southern Premier Division South starts on Saturday. Chichester host Poole Town. We can't forget about Chichester this year.
No. We've not given them. Yeah, we've hardly mentioned them.
They've got some long ass games in that division. Plymouth Parkway, Chippenham.
Bloody hell.
Plymouth Parkway is probably the biggest one, to be honest with you. Frome.
Well, I think we need to dive into the Isthmian.
Yeah, we will do.
Really dive, because they're going to play a massive part of the show.
Yeah. Isthmian Prem fixtures. Eastbourne Borough open up with a massive tie away at Averley.
Averley will be up 100%.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Lewis are at home to Enfield.
Another tough one for Lewis.
I'll be heading to that, I think. My game of choice.
Whitehawk travel to Welling United.
Up Jay Levette. Shout out, Jay.
And for your first game at this level, Three Bridges host Dartford.
Yeah, that's tough, mate.
Go on,
Dartford,
baptism of fire, but they'll do it, mate.
He wasn't very happy after their last.
I was about to say, did you see his interview after the win against Spinning?
Yeah, he was fuming.
He was absolutely steaming, mate.
Yeah.
But that's the standards. They've just won a trophy. First game of the season. He's absolutely steaming.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's because Krause is a winner. He's proper. Yeah.
I love it.
Right, lads.
Hold on, quickly. I got 2 burger reviews.
Go on then. Put it in there.
Yeah. One from Midhurst. I'm going to read it out. I've written it. I've written it. It's all ready to go on Instagram. I'll put it out on Instagram probably tomorrow when I get time. Very tough. Oh, yeah. Anyway, first burger review of 26-27 season is ticked off. Midhurst and Eastbourne FC. A really solid start. Patty was juicy with a proper beef flavour. By the way, this is for Dave Hook. All these burger reviews this season are dedicated to Dave Hook, who doesn't like all the food reviews at grounds. It was very much put on social media over the weekend. So, Dave Hook, this is for you.
Who is Dave Hook?
Yeah,
I ain't got a fucking clue. Likes car boots and ground hopping.
But not burgers.
Oh, that clown.
Yeah.
Right.
But not burger reviews. Dave, get to know burger reviews. I'm changing the face.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm changing the face of football food in Sussex single-handedly. Right. Anyway, a really solid start. Patty was juicy, proper beef flavour. The bacon was cooked spot on. It wasn't too crispy. It wasn't cooked on a radiator. A toasted brioche bun.
Ooh.
Almost like top notch. Held it together nicely. Plenty of melted burger cheese. To nothing too fancy, but it's burger cheese. So this year we're doing it out of 40. Each individual element will have a mark out of 10. The patty, I gave it 7 out of 10. I think to get any higher than that, you've got to be using a local butcher or something like that. The bacon, I gave it 8 out of 10. Plenty of it. I quite like it really crispy, but this was would have been perfect for anyone else. Cheese, 6.5. I think any more, you've got to be looking at a cheddar or something, melted cheddar or that sort of thing. Bun.
Well, he don't want much, does he?
No, but
mate.
Like a fucking Michelin star burger.
Say Gordon Ramsay, eat your heart out.
The problem is there are clubs out there that do it. So, a bun. The bun, I gave it 8 out of 10. Right, solid. So they scored 20.
Got to be a brioche.
Yeah, but then I'm quite open. I quite like an oven bottom. You know, like the oven bottom muffins as like a burger bun.
Classic.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not an ELB. Don't look at me like that, Mike. Nothing over the top. Good, honest, non-league burger. I'd happily, again, a decent benchmark to kick off the season.
Dave is shaking right now listening to this.
Say again?
I said Dave is shaking right now. Oh, Dave.
Yeah.
I can't believe what he's hearing.
29.5 out of 40. So they're solid. I think to get into the 30s, the mid to late 30s, you're going to be looking at a real quality burger.
75%.
Yeah. Hassocks was the second one.
Oh.
I'm going to read out what I've written. A decent, honest football burger that was better than expected. It was a Booker patty, but it was a standout. And a proper burger flavour, but also tasted like bits of pepper or something running through it. And like little bits of pepper, and you could taste it as well. It was a Warburton's, so it was a Warburton's BAP. Not bad, but
standard Dugout.
Perfect. It worked all right. The generous helping of melted burger cheese. There was a thick cut bacon, right? And normally that's okay. The strip of fat hadn't quite been cooked. It was cooked, but it was I bit it, and the strip of bacon fat, it's just hanging around in my beard. You know,
no, you can't have that, mate. It
was making it a little chewy. Look, it was a good burger, and when you see the pictures, I'll show you the pictures in a bit. Patty, 8 out of 10, 100%. It was really good patty. Bacon, 6.5. Not because it was thick bacon, just because the fat was a little bit chewy. Cheese, 6.5. I gave it exactly the same cheese rating as I gave Midhurst. And the bun, I gave it 5 out of 10. It basically fell apart. It hadn't been toasted.
Got to be toasted, mate. You cannot have a burger without a toasted bun, mate. Sacrilege.
All the reviews will be on the league table on the app.
Yeah. The patty does the heavy lifting here. Lists otherwise a fairly standard non-league burger. Match day feed that won't be challenging for the title, but comfortably mid-table, and I'll happily eat it again.
Fantastic.
I don't want to upset Hassocks too much because I'm there on a hot weekend.
And our first bar review will come from
Midhurst
this week.
Cruzy Campo on draft, mate.
I will be there to give my honest bar review as well. Guys, great show. Fantastic numbers. Over 2,500 people watching live right now in there with over 8,000 unique visitors. Thank you ever so much for you guys. Anything to say before we go? Where are we going at the end of the week? I'm obviously off to Midhurst and Lambton. Gaz, where are you off to?
I'm off to the opening of a charity shop in Shoreham to serve coffee all weekend. Fantastic. I'm there Saturday. I'm there Sunday. Come down to Cinch Storage in Shoreham. Come and say hello. I would say you can come and get a coffee, but you can pay for it. I'm not giving out free ones.
I had too many free ones off you at the weekend.
Yeah, Mike's cost me a fortune in coffee and peach iced tea.
And cookies and Thai
cookies.
Matt, where are you off to?
Lewis versus Enfield. I think that should be a good game.
Shout out to my boy Noel Fisher when you see him.
100%.
Tell him I said hi. Grant, you working?
No, I'm Saturday, Friday night though, Forest Row against New Haven, FA Cup. Can't wait.
Wonderful. And we will be having on Monday morning, issue 1 of Dugout News. We'll be there, your weekly guide to non-league in Sussex. And just finally, before we go, I was blown away with the amount of people that actually went on the Dugout Data Hub website, a free website for you fans, you coaches, where we will track all of the players and the results in the clubs, where you can build your own stat pack in there free of charge via PDF within 30 seconds. And the results are updated immediately after the games. Dugoutdatahub.com. And finally, boys, for everyone knows, the mighty Dugout 90 will be delivered to clubs on the 17th of August.
Oi, you buying that or just window shopping? Dugout 90, mate. Keep the lads hydrated. Buy a can.
There you go. Gentlemen, everyone, thank you. There we go. Thank you, City. Here's a game changer. It's free of charge. It's what we do. You know, you support us, we'll support you. That's how it is. So for everyone else, thank you so much. Matt, I'm glad to see you better now. Grant, I'm glad to see you're here. And Gareth, after your wonderful repair of that coffee machine today, you made it.
I haven't repaired it. It's fucked.
Upselling. You sold him a 10 grand coffee machine.
I wish.
Thank you to everyone that was listening. Make sure you follow us on the socials at the SNLF on X, at the SNLF on Instagram, and at the Dugout AI on YouTube. Get in there. One little subscribe. It don't cost anything. You support us. It helps us grow the brand, and it helps us keep giving you new products, new websites, and new podcasts, which are a national award recognized, all because of this. For everyone, from ourselves, and everyone here, have a great evening, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Great numbers.
See